I try to bring Steve on camera while the man is, fixing your hair. The Barcelona people that they left on everything.
Keep on trying. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. Keep on trying.
Steve.
Exclusive from Hot LBR.
Steve, so before we say anything, it's your shows today, so I want you to recognize some of the people. You can, so while we share, I'm going to be sharing the show while you do that.
Yeah, folks, welcome to today's edition. Welcome to the show. Welcome to each and every one of you. Help us to share the show. We are going to be scrutinizing, examining, looking at the records of some of the presidential candidates, whether past, present, or so forth. However you want to term it as. Welcome and welcome. Sorry, I missed the show this week. And a few times ago, I missed the show. Sorry, folks. They hear you. I got to call the head now because it's not easy. I got to call the head now. But anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to today's edition. It has been of a blessing. Again, sorry that I missed the show for the past week or so forth. We had some obligations here that we had to take care of, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back on. We will recognize one or two of you here this afternoon. Give me a second. I'm getting a quick call here. I know why I said, let me put the music on. 1 second. 1 second here. Anyway, welcome to the show. Let's share the show, folks. Let's share the show, please. Let's invite someone. Let's share the show. Very interesting things are happening. Today is Sunday, the 20th of August, 2022. 23, sorry, because I'm programming get with me. So I said 2022. And they will have all rights to be mad at me. Let's share the show. The time here in Phoenix, Arizona is what? 11:10 a.m. Let's share the show. Welcome and welcome. Some people will be very pissed off today because we are going to be scrutinizing their candidates. We're going to be looking at the records. Just a lot to talk about. Like I said, I've been off the show for a little bit now. I had lots of things going on, how to take care of in the back end from a community level. From a community level, as a leader in the community, as a stakeholder in the community, I had to make sure we do one or two things. So yes, we're expecting Milburn from Liberia to be joining us any moment from now. I can tell you just for a fact that the show will be noisy today. Why the man come here about gospel music again? They got come here about gospel music.
My man, today was just another wonderful day today at our church. So, when you start celebrating from the house of God, you got to bring it all the way to the radio, or sometimes you bring it to work, with that zeal. So what's up? What's going on?
My man, I was just greeting our people here, and we're waiting for you two to come so that we can greet the people from Liberia. But basically what I was saying was it's good to be back. Today we're going to scrutinize the different candidates and the records, the public ones, the ones that we know that are not public, that are private. We're going to bring out the records today. In other words, we'll bring a story outside today.
What a secret
yes.
thing.
Yes. No, we'll discuss the records as to the roles and so forth, and whether in government or out of government, from a respective, wherever they were. We'll demystify some myths, some lies, and try to, sharpen the contradictions as much as we can today. So that means, in other words, the show will be hot. Let me say it that way. The show will be hot.
You're not coming with a BB boy again, eh? Sharpen the contradiction.
That's the problem I have with
demystify.
Now the thing is that so then what happens is that all the old folks back home, So all the old folks
how you doing?
I'm okay though. Steve, as you can Seku, as you can see, I'm okay. Actually, I'm doing great. Thank God.
Yeah, me, I'm not okay.
What happened?
And you know why I'm not okay. So
no, myself,
it's okay. I'm not okay, but I'm okay because
I understand.
It's not easy.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's not easy.
So you Melbourne got secret. I don't know about what.
Show you on secret level. That secret.
One of them men know what we're going through, but for me, for me, I'm okay. Actually,
me and Melbourne, we gotta put our life together.
You really don't for go for so spiritual, from Steve.
Yeah, I guess that a few days y'all been bringing us on the show. Y'all been bringing Yo-Yo on the show. I just looking at y'all. I watch the show. I listen to y'all. I think about what's going on. But anyway, folks, Thank you for helping us share the show. Please continue to share the show. Let's greet our people from back home. Those of you listening to us on the radio, we want to say good afternoon, good evening to you. Today's Sunday. Many of you are already from church. Some of you are still in church and you are still listening to us, because I know some of you can be in church and you still get a Facebook on. I know you won't confuse Jesus or whatever it is, but you need to slow down, focus on church. After church, follow SKTV. Follow us on the radio to our Oma, our papa, our nephew, our nieces, our uncles and aunties all around the country that are listening to us, whether in Lima County, Grand Chile, Montserrat, wherever you are listening to us from. We say good afternoon. This is SKTV. Good evening to you. We come your way today again to talk about some of the prevailing issue in our country. Today we're going to be discussing the leaders and their history, their records. Basically, we're going to be talking about some of the records. It's good to know some of these people's records, and we can base some of our judgments on that. It's good to be informed to make decisions. It's very, very good. There's nothing wrong with it. But Melbourne, we want to turn it to you quick for quick update in Liberia. What's going on? How's the country? Before Sekou next, and then we'll get to the show here.
All right, so that's so good. Thank you so much, Steve. And let me say also to all of our followers, especially for those of you who are always running your data to make sure that you follow SKTV, and all of our people that are always listening to us via the radio from Liberia and Guinea border, from Liberia and Sierra Leone border, from Liberia and the Africa Coast border as far as Maryland County, Nimba, and the rest of Mama Liberia. Let me say good evening to all of you. Yes, indeed, Steve, you are correct. Today is Sunday, and the time check here in Liberia is 40 minutes past 6 right here in Liberia. And today is the 20th day in the month of August, and campaign starts on the 5th of this month. So we can roughly say we're going almost nearly about 10 days now into the campaign activities, and there are a lot of Liberians. And there are a lot of campaign activity that have been taking place up to now that stay ongoing. So Liberia is going good. Today is Sunday. As you already said, there are a lot of Christians or believers who went to the village churches on today to serve their Almighty God. And some of them are already going home. And maybe some of them are still in the family meetings or maybe organization meetings or church meetings. Yes, so we are doing good right here in Liberia, except for the political activities. Nowadays there are no free day. Send the start of the campaign, there are no free day. So all of our political actors, they are doing everything possible to win the mind of their voters or to win the mind of Liberia, so that they can elect them to various position. So these are things that are happening, and we are moving very strong. We are moving good. Hopefully the Unity Party standard bearer, Honorable Joseph Boakai, they talk about his campaign tour that are going to start on tomorrow by the grace of God. So far, so good. These are news we're hearing from the political corridor, and the CPP also on I think about 2 days ago named their own campaign team and so forth. And the political the political game already start. So the referee, which of course is the National Election Commission, already blow the whistle. So the political actors, they are doing everything possible to win the mind of our people. So far, so good, Steve. Liberia is going good.
So far, so good. Liberia is going good. That's the voice of Mr. Milpon Kula there, in studio in Monrovia, Liberia. Mr. Kane, what say you? Good morning. What's going on?
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Sekou Kene, as you always, I always enjoy talking to our people back home in Liberia and people following us around the world. As you may be aware, this is SKTV. We are based in Phoenix, Arizona. And this program is being relayed directly live on Truth FM 96.1. We are covering the entire country, the entire Liberia. I was reminded today that maybe we don't know the magnitude, the strength, and the power of SKTV, owing to the fact that Liberians from around the globe listen to us. So anything we say, anything we do, it's not being taken for granted. So because of that, we admonish ourselves and everybody else, whatever we say, let's make sure it is in the best interest of Liberia. And the Liberian people should benefit from anything we do. So if you are in Australia area or anywhere in Asia, where it's in the morning, we want to say good morning to you. And if you're in the East Coast, we want to say good afternoon. And if you're in the West Coast, where I live, right now, time check is 11:19, 19 minutes after 11 a.m. in the morning. If you're in Liberia, we want to say good evening. We love you. We appreciate you for taking your time to be on SKTV, to listen to SKTV. Today, I was informed that, in fact, the viewership of SKTV, because of Truth FM, has expanded to a very, very maximum level. I'm told that there are a lot of people that can be waiting for 6 p.m. program on Truth FM, whether on their, whether they're in their cars, because it's a prompt time in Liberia. That's the time a lot of people are home, a lot of people running home. They're listening to radio. Some people sitting there relax after, hard working day, if it's a weekend after church, you see. So it's a prompt time, it's a time that where people are relaxed and they listen. A friend, Steve, like just to tell you, a friend called me 2 months ago. She was in Liberia for like 4 months. So she told me, she lived here. She told me, Sekou, something funny happened. I said, what happened? He said, I was in Liberia every day. In the evening, some of my friends from the government, they be telling me, oh, let's go listen to SKTV. Let's go listen to SKTV. So she said, I thought it was a channel, a TV channel in Liberia there called SKTV. And then somebody told us, no, it's not SK, it's not any different channel. That's the SKTV from the United States. The person told that my friend, oh, yeah, it's your former president, Sekou Kene, then TV show that he can be doing online and also on the radio. That is to tell you, a lot of people follow, a lot of people listen. And because of the level of trust and integrity we carry, anything from our people don't take it for granted. A lot of people don't want to hear their name on SKTV in a negative way. They want to hear their name on a positive way. So that's why we are admonishing everybody as well. If you're up there, if you're a political actor, you should also, do the good things. So at least we can be talking good thing about you, positive thing about you. If you do negative thing, we will not talk everything we will talk. So it's better for all of us to conduct ourselves responsibly. We that on the show, we that speak to the people that watch us, people that listen to us, all of us present and comport ourselves as responsible adults. So that way, together, we can make Liberia better. So, Steve, it's good to be here. And I like the topic. Say the records of the presidential candidate. That one, and that's what I'm talking about. Because that one, the record is too loaded. Yeah, but we're here, and I'm glad to be here.
You're glad to be here. Thank you, Mr. Kane. Folks, let's share the show, please. We're about to get into this program. Quickly, we will refer to some documents here as well. But the conversation today, we already started a show with music, and so we will not get into the musical part of it. But the 3 front runners, no disrespect to the other leaders in the country, in person of Jawan Gonglu and Moniba. But for the sake of this conversation, we will keep it at Alexander Cummings, Jose Yuma Boakai, and current President George Mane Weah. Order here would probably like to start. It's hard to start. You don't even know where to start, who to start with, because it's not easy. But anyways, let's start the conversation already. Let's start with the President George Weah. We'll start with President George Weah. We end with Alexander Cummings, and Chuse Yoma Boakai will be in the middle. We have the opportunity. We'll open the lines here at some point for you to contribute. Listen, please, disagree with us, but let's stick with the facts. Even if there are allegations, they'll still consider facts as of now until those allegations can be proven or disproved, but they are still part of the records in the context of fact. So let's get to the conversation here, Mr. Kane. One of the things that has been debunked most recently by Rodney CA, and we've said this on SKTV and other places before, that President George Weah, his entire football career, he made 80 million, 85 million, or so forth. He was rich. That is not true. We want to clear that off first. And the reason we want to clear it out is because when you start to lie for a presidential candidate, it becomes a problem. But before we go into President George Weah, Mr. Kane, I want to lay the basis on something quick. Because this conversation, it's not only going to be informative, it's going to be very, very, very educative. And hopefully people who have not made up their minds in terms of this election can be informed to make their decisions in their minds. I was reading yesterday afternoon, as part of the reason I probably didn't come around, Mr. Kane, for us to finish up as we planned. I was reading and watching the documentary of Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani. If you don't know who Rudy Giuliani is, he got indicted a few days in Georgia. It is to my understanding now, based on the documentary and what I've read so far about Rudy Giuliani, that Rudy Giuliani has a chaotic past. The reason I'm saying these things is because we as human beings, our lives are not coincidental. What I mean by that is, if Mr. Kane was a troublemaker in Minnesota, when he lived there, regardless of what Mr. Kane thinks, if he thinks when he moves from Minnesota, he comes to Arizona to live here, automatically he will be this new person that would, no. He will be a troublemaker again here. It is just a matter of time. And the reason I'm saying this is because Rudy Giuliani contributed directly and indirectly because of the laws he made when he was mayor in New York to the death of Amadou Diallo, a young African from Guinea who died at the hands of police brutality. I started to put the pieces together. I said, okay, this is why Rudy Giuliani followed Donald Trump for them to act the way they acted January 6th. These things are not mutually exclusive. In other words, you can separate them. There is a behavioral traceable pattern that they've done it before, they will do it again. So these grown men come together. And they misbehave today, they are charged. Fast forward, the reason we are fact-checking some of the records of the presidential candidates, we want to bring it to you today, is because if you go back in the record, the thing that they did before, they are doing it today, and they will do it again, even when you make them president or not. Making them president does not change what they can do or what they can do. So that's why we want to go into the records and see what they did before, what they can do, and what they cannot do. So that when you are making your decisions to vote for them, you will understand exactly what you are getting and nothing will be surprising to you. So we start with President George Weah. It was the light for President George Weah that he made 80 million in his football career. President George Weah never made 80 million in his football career. That is not true. And the fact that President George Weah himself sat there quietly and allowed them to push this narrative in the public so that it can benefit him directly or indirectly, that means he willingly participated in a lie that he benefited from. That in itself is a red flag, and it is a problem. It is a problem. When people lie on your behalf and you benefit from it, it is a problem. So we wanted to establish that. Let's move fast forward to President George Weah's football's career. President George Weah, thank God, was successful enough to win the Ballon d'Or. Yes. He won the Ballon d'Or. Africa, Europe, whatever you want to term it, world best at the time because of his natural God-given gift. And at the time, his talents and so forth earned him that. That's something you can't take away from President George Weah. President George Weah, if you look at after he won the world best, the combination of a lot of different things, which I will state one of them here, lack of discipline. And let me say this to all of us Liberians. I don't know about Liberia, but I know about the Western world. When you work in the Western world, whether you're a professional football player or you're a professional somebody who cleans the dishes or who cleans homes or whatever, no disrespect, please. But in your profession, if you are not disciplined, it will get you in trouble. You remember the famous Costa incident where President George Weah headbutted him and he bled? That was indiscipline. That was lack of discipline. And in professionalism, when you're not disciplined, you get punished by it. Because of that, most people have alluded that it contributed to the fact that President George Weah could not win a second Ballon d'Or. Whether you think it was a setup, whether you believe it was whatever it was, at the end of the day, President George Weah had a choice to make at that time in the moment. Fast forward, President George Weah comes into politics. Now, this is out of the international scene, on the national scene. President George Weah came to the Senate. President George Weah won a senatorial seat, I stand to be corrected, back in 2014. President George Weah served 3 years in the Senate before being elected president. Some have used his services in the Senate as a benchmark for other people who want to run for the presidency. That's why you will hear people saying, oh, but the man king, and why the man not go be senator first, and why the man not, there is no criteria set in our constitution that you must be senator before you become president. Becoming senator is a choice, becoming representative is a choice, becoming president is a choice. You can choose to run for any of these positions at any given time. You don't have, there's not a criteria to say, oh, you got to be representative, then you become senator, then you become, no, that's not how it works. So this notion that somebody had to be senator before, that's not a fact. President George Weah have been searching the records. So maybe Mr. Kane will help us when it is his time to speak on President George Weah. Maybe you can help us about President George Weah's record in the Senate. Maybe you can help us to see if there is any record there. One thing I recall vividly from President George Weah is this. When there were serious debates and serious issues going on, when he first got elected, President George Weah was captured in France, Paris, watching a soccer game for PSG. And you know what? President George Weah repeated the same behavior that he repeated in the Senate because that's who we are as human beings. We don't change in our nature and our behaviors. That's not how it works. Remember last year, while serious things were going on in the country, President George Weah left the country connivingly and lying to the Liberian people, disrespecting the Constitution, and went to Qatar. He was watching the game in Qatar. You think that he first time doing it? That ain't first time doing it. He did it before. So he did it again. So, Mr. Kane, I don't know. It's up to you now. What do you make of the record of President George Weah in totality? Whether in his Senate presidency or his career as a football player, what do you make of it? And then we'll switch to Joseph Boakai right after that.
Well, first of all, there are people there, that will come under the live feed to, argue, try to debunk or refute what you're saying without them providing their version. If you think somebody's saying something that is not correct, you come in and say what you think is the right thing. But some of these people, they are just distractors. They will just come to try to distract people. You don't need to go too far when it comes to President Weah, especially when he's running for president. When President Weah decided to run for president, he promised the Liberian people a lot of things. Among them was good governance. Is he doing good work at that? You be the judge. President Weah said Ellen government was corrupt, that they're going to bring sanity to the Liberian government. Is the Liberian government not corrupt now? You be the judge. President Weah said when he come, there will be electricity in Liberia before the end of his first term. Do we have electricity now everywhere in Liberia? You be the judge. As a matter of fact, the negative impact of Weah presidency outweighed the positive. Whether it's the lack of security, whether it's the lack of safe drinking water, whether it's rape being on the rampage, whether it's mysterious death of people, whether it's corruption, you name it. Everything about George Weah is negative. Even the people, they know it. That's why they are not proud to outline Weah's achievement for the past 6 years. They are not part of it. Because the negative is too much. And that's why with all the big mouth, there's nobody in CDC government that can proudly debate with any other person when it comes to speaking about their record. So, that is to tell you, if we have any record to run on, those are the things that will have been on the campaign trail. When they go out, they will be talking about good things they have done. They will be telling the Liberian people how many schools they have built, how they have empowered market women. They will be telling you how many roads they have built outside of Monrovia. The entire Southeast supported George Weah. George Weah won the election 14-1 county against Joseph Boakai. George Weah sat back for 3 years. He didn't go to any county after the election to tell him thank you. 4 years before he started going around because election was coming. George Weah is supported heavily by the Southeasterner. The road to the Southeast, there's no road there. People got to travel to Ivory Coast. You got to fly to Ivory Coast before you can travel into the Southeast. So Joey has no record to run on, Steve. Nothing, absolutely. When you ask them, the big thing they will say, we're paying the white fee. School can start from white. School start from primary. If the mothers and fathers are employed, they can afford the school fee for their children before they can talk about high school.
I knew you would have spoken about the WIAC stuff. Just please, 1 second, Mr. Kane, I'm not interrupting, but I got a most recent update from the WIAC stuff that they've been passing around with. We said we're going to do the necessary research, because I know the wire conversation would have come in. That's what they're running on. They want to deceive you because they're deceptive. As we speak now, the so-called Wired site is down. And Mr. Kane, I beg you, please come back in. Rob, I just wanted to agree with you on that. I think Mr. Kane got to take a call or something. You're muted. I wanted to agree with you on that. And this is from the executive mansion. Anybody can go check that Wired site up. It's down. They took it down because the information on there are misleading, false, and deceptive. The Weah site that they've been posting on and making all the noise about. I challenge anybody from the government to come and disprove what I'm saying here. They've took it down. They've taken it down. I mean, we went and did a research to double check on this Weah thing. Mr. Kane, everything about these people, if it's not temporary, it's deceptive. How do we move forward? Please go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, I'll be taking a short break after when I talk about George Weah, because I need to put myself together,
Okay, yeah.
Because Melbourne, I can see Melbourne saying now right now, Melbourne is full. Me, I'm hungry right now. So, yeah. But again, let me say this.
Wait, that me today, you.
Melbourne, you got me for real?
The thing about it is that Steve Bella today was named today as the best usher. So the guy took me at his house, so I was a little bit filmed from there. I was running straight. So
I can tell, Melbourne. I can leave and see your stomach. How you looking right now? But it's okay. I'm not gonna complain. But yeah. So what I was saying is that if this government had anything to run on Steve, we'll not be sleeping. Will not be sleeping. They'll be talking about all those things. But the fact that these guys are going to those little children and giving them money, putting uniform on them, giving them hat and t-shirts, giving them microphone. Hey man, if the Weah can campaign for himself, or based on his record, now those small children will come talk to the people and say, you're for Joe Weah. So it is very, very embarrassing, Steve, that after 6 years, you have no signature project to point to. You got no list of achievement that you can debate. Nothing. My man, under George Weah, I've never seen it in any country in Africa, let alone anywhere in the Western world. Flies, airplane, coming from outside, coming from Weah country. We invested there with different people inside, coming to explore the country, trying to see what's going on in the country. The flag could not land because there's no electricity. You had to go to Freetown at some point. The other time, I got to go to Abidjan, Ivory Coast. The government there, after 6 years, and that happened in the 6 years. They fly, people then coming to Liberia, something they call first impression. You go to Liberia the first time, before you get there, they say the plane can land, the airplane, the line now go off. Amen. Then you're running for re-election? Even that one thing you could do, at least the airport should have electricity. Should have backup electricity. If the whole country go dark, at least let the airport be having some light. The airport light was off. You got to return the plane. How shameful, how embarrassing, that is, Steve. Secondly, people who were there to audit the government. When the Ebola happened, the World Food Program, the WFP, they gave money up to 35 million to Liberia to help the Liberian people. 15 million, they show record for that. The other 21 million, they could not show any record to prove how the money was used. The people then that give the opportunity to go and audit them, by the time people finish with their audit, to get their audit report, they kill all of them mysteriously. Then they say the people then were making love in the car. 4 people, all of them died. They running for re-election, Steve. Those are records. Those are not just yesterday. Those are today's record. Because somebody, or let me tell you something, even if Weah had nothing to do, let's say even if Weah had nothing to do with the death of those people, the fact that those people were auditing Weah government and they died, they were not protected, and Weah said the people were making love in the car. Steve, again, the same money business, the same corruption business, when the $16 billion case was on, when the Liberian people were running crazy, angry, Matthew Innes, who had the record to show as to what happened to the money from the central bank, 16 billion, that worth 106 million United States dollars. Matthew Innes was murdered in cold blood. Then you want to talk about record? Adolph Lawrence, who said, you know what? We will invite the justice minister and the police director here on Tuesday to come and tell us. They report from the investigation to tell us exactly what happened to Matthew Innes. Because they face $16 billion business, we got to know what's going on. One day, the information minister, Len Eugene Nangwe, will say, yes, $16 billion. The next day, Samuel Toh will say, no, the $15 billion didn't lose. We didn't lose it. Nothing is missing. Justice minister will say, well, something is missing, we are investigating. The next day, the central bank governor will say, no, nothing happened. The next day, they say something happened. Before you know it again, the fire suspended Ellen Justice Salif's son, Charles Salif. Before you know, they arrested a few people. They say money were missing. Later on, they were all released. This government is corrupt to the core. So all those things happen, Steve. Then we talk about record. When Adolph Lawrence say, you know what, Tuesday, we'll make sure we call the justice minister and the police director to come and account to what happened to Matthew Innes. He did not live to see this Monday, not even talk about the Tuesday. Then we talk about record, Steve. So people then that came to investigate corruption, in fact, the government-owned agency that is purposely designed to investigate and prosecute corruption, when they did their due diligence and cited few people that were corrupt, you know what they did? They called the people, they called ministerial retreat in Ganta. They put them to shame. They embarrassed them why they have to investigate government ministers to point to their corruption so they can be prosecuted. They call them for ministry. These are the records we're telling you now. They call them for ministerial retreat. They shame the guy. In fact, you know what they did? They dismissed all of them. They say, you know what? Oh, we form a new thing. Everybody going to resign and reapply. If people doing a good job, why they tell them to resign and reapply? So this government, people are not stupid. Even if you don't like Boakai, whether you don't like Cummings, whether you don't like Tiawan Gonglo, you don't like any of the people that are running for president, if you don't like them, you cannot look at this government and vote for them. Where in the world, everybody who put their mouth in the corruption business, they want to investigate and they kill the people? Setting representative. Up to now, there's no clarification. You know, somebody told me, you know, they say, you know, the way the campaign looking, don't be talking about the government too much. We can't hear. I will come there, they can't do a job to me. Because this thing that happened, it happened. It happened. Okay, at the same time, right around the same time, when the lady who running right now, well, I don't know what her name, Colonial Crow, who is whatever her name is, she is one of the leader of Joseph Juma Boakai or Boakai campaign. She was running on District 13. Jefferson Koji and people that were saying, going there with cutlasses, attacking people. People said somebody died. Other people said 3 people died. Guess what happened? Few days later, bodies were discovered. They trying to bury body. Their body 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to bury people. And where that body came from? See Moses. No investigation. Who deposited the body there? The police said, you know what? Somebody came deposited the body here, and we don't know who deposited the body, and the body was getting rotting, and nobody to claim it. Imagine human being treating human being like a chicken under this government. Human being. The people, when they saw people burying human being, dead body, late night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Moses was not investigated. They know exactly who dropped the body there. Jefferson Koji was accused. The other government talks were accused of being the one that killed that person. No investigation. Matthew Innes, no investigation, no result. Adolf Lawrence, no investigation, no result. 3 missing children that were allegedly killed for their sacrifice for the election. No investigation, no result. That body can be found in Liberia, in Monserrado, in Monrovia specifically. But the dumper, but the way they can throw the dirt, red light. The human being can be smelling like a chicken, like a dog under this government. What kind of record are we going to talk about here, Steve? They got no record. Their record is mysterious killing of people, stealing the country money, enriching themselves, harassing anybody who speaks ill about the government. Where are Yeke family today? Where are Yeke family? They will say they don't have no political prisoner, but they have a lot of political death. So Weah has no record to run on. I'm just being honest. They're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna say this guy is bad muffin or but they have no record to. You know, when you talk about giving people money on the street, Steve, that hurt me more than anything. Do you know? Because we are going to one of the district, I don't know, district 17. Do you know now they're putting LEC there? Because we are going there. They're putting LEC there. They're going to make sure that LEC, they go there. Why? If you're living there, go there right now. They're putting LEC all over the place. Oh, because election coming on, the people deserve light, temporary light. Election light. After the election, then you abandon the people. While he and his family sleeping under 100% on the 4/7 electricity, safe drinking water, flying private jet, taking the people's own money. You know, when the people say, you know what? Yeah, that thing, yeah. You know, we are doing good. Ali, man, trying. They better not do that. If somebody steals $100 million from you and can't bill or give you or spend $100,000 on you, that's nothing. If somebody stole, let's say for example, the Weah government be stealing money. They printed money. They never get the old money out. The new money they're using it on the Liberian people. They printed our own money, keep it for their campaign. They give it that one to the Liberian people. They say, oh, they better got money, oh, they're making development in Lova, oh, hey, the people there, they're going everywhere. How will you take the Liberian people money, steal the people money, and give it to them because of election? Then they say people are running. Oh, the government spending, oh, who can match the government? Bunch of criminals stealing the country money, giving the country money to the people. Who can compete with them? Can the CPP compete with them? CPP got that kind of money. The people got access to the whole country money. Can United Party even compute? United Party can compete with CPP. United Party compete with anybody? Can Conglo compute? See, so there's no record to run on for George Weah. They're stealing the people money. People are dying with no investigation or clear record of what happened to them. Let's agree now, Adolph Lawrence had an accident. Who is the driver? Who is the driver? Who that car belong to? Was that car registered? That car was registered under somebody. The car had license plate. The truck had license plate. The truck has a driver. Who was the driver? Okay, was the driver investigated? Was the accident investigated? Was the driver ticketed? If the driver was wrong, the thief go to jail for how long? Nothing whatsoever. So this is not even a government. This is a criminal empire. Criminal empire that will do anything just to get re-elected. So yes.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. Well,
They
folks,
have no record to wrong. Absolutely nothing.
folks, as we are, like I said, people getting their feelings.
I'm not even worried about ancestry.
The Chowia wouldn't get invest. Seku will be back. The show will continue.
Me, I will be back.
Yeah,
I finish open Joga about on the Pandora box. I'm looking at everything right now.
yeah, we'll bring Joseph back.
We'll get it. That was saying me, I will be back. I'll go put myself together. I'll come back.
Yeah, so we have not.
I'll come back. Maybe if you're gonna have new bulletin, I'll come after the news bulletin, whatever that is.
Right. So
I'll come back.
scrutinizing President George, we are still here.
Yeah. So quickly, Steve, let me not cut you off. So we're just going to continue with the broadcast of the 8 o'clock. So there'll be no break in.
Yeah,
And
Wait, because he said I'll come back now.
yeah, but Mr. Cannon, we got to
Hold
finish.
on, Steve. I'm still gonna go back. The best say don't do.
wait, just wait, come here.
I'm happy that there'll be no new bulletin. I will come back.
We'll put a left together and come.
I want to put myself together. The job I pay for day before coming to the show. Okay, man.
Folks, for those of you listening to us on the radio, we'll do our best. We'll have the time for you to chime in here. But really quick, this is from the Ministry of Education. This is from the Ministry of Education. 6 days ago, this is what it posted on the Ministry of Education site. Fake WAC results. The WAC results circulating on the internet are fake. Liberia has not yet released any official results. WAC Liberia and Ministry of Education will hold our usual press conference to release the official results when the appropriate time comes. Furthermore, it is worth noting that Liberian students have consistently overcome challenges and demonstrated commendable performance over the past 5 years. We do not anticipate any deviation from this trend. Let's continue to encourage them to do their best. Thank you. So, folks, like we said from previously, they lied that President George Weah 80 million or whatever. The lies have started again on this WAC fees and this other one, which makes no sense at all. But I can hear them talking about roads too. Interestingly, and when we say some of these things, they get vexed with some of our men and hit or behind close to, oh, my man. Look, let me tell you something. This is not a game thing. We are too old to be misbehaving. I hate to see old people misbehaving. Me personally, I don't like it. Liberia is too old to be misbehaving. Look at Ivory Coast. Look at Ivory Coast. They're hosting the African Cup of Nations next January in Abidjan. But not only that, have you seen what they just dedicated a few days? I heard that other funny looking man in the face, Samuel Tuer. But I don't blame Samuel Tuer. To be honest, I seriously don't blame Samuel Tuer. I blame the people who takes money from him on a cover when he steals. Some of the so-called advocates who passing around here. I blame them because they think should have been put to bed long time ago. You want to hold somebody accountable, hold them accountable. You don't want to hold them accountable. Stop using poor people to benefit on the back, acting like you advocate or you speaking for them, but then you go behind closed door and collect money from Samuel Tuer and other people. And all of you are on record. We are saying it today again. Your hero there, your hero there, they're on record of taking money from Samuel Tuer and other government officials. And when you say, when people say, you say, oh, that politics. No, they're not politics. When you deceptively deceive a bunch of people who the future of the next generation and the nation is relying on. You don't do that. When we say these things, oh, you let it take politics personal. It should be personal. Because look at our brothers and sisters, Ivory Coast. Look, there is a project in Ivory Coast. It's reported all over nationally and internationally. Do you know what I mean to have 1.5 billion contract to build railroads and other things in your country, and they start working on it? Do you know what kind of investment infrastructure? Do you know how many jobs that will create? And you get these guys over there playing games all day. When we say, hey, y'all say, oh, you hate this person. It's not about hate. When do we move this country forward? Now Jesus not coming to move the country forward for us. We gotta be serious, and we gotta hold these people accountable. The people that who you're calling hero and other people there, they're taking money behind closed doors from the government. They come and act like they're in the government and not cool. That's not true. They're taking money behind closed doors. And this is frustrating. It's very disappointing. It is so disappointing and frustrating. The same joy we had that you're clean, a native man, that the same man keeping his people impoverished and bondage. He has the opportunity now. This is no, you're like talking about Congo and country business and a country man in power. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's get serious for once. We need to get serious for once. Our friend are moving forward. When I hear Samuel Tuere joking with the Liberian people and talking about, oh, the gay current to articles, and what sense does that make? How is that rational? How? Have you seen what's going on right in articles in your nose? Did you listen to the declaration of serious-minded leader, even the guy who carried on the coup in Guinea? Did you listen to his declaration in a few days? That there will be no more raw mineral exported from Guinea. They must do everything in Guinea now. You know how many jobs that will provide for the Guineans to put food on people's table? And you get Joe Weah and still joking around, still messing around, passing around, paying people $10 to come outside to come. So how? And we're supposed to make progress? You make this make sense to some of us. When we say, oh, the way you speak, we're not like, okay, today, we're speaking in low tune now. How does this make sense? You got a few handful of people here who the godpa, the godma, or the man, the part and the brother, and sister, them benefiting from government, stolen money and corruption. They come on the internet in America with their children there. When you talk one, they talk five, they read stupid thing with confidence. How? Trying to convince our people who in the right mind want to convince anybody to vote for George Weah or CDC. Who in the right mind want to do that? Who in the right mind want to do that? Just the thought of even talking about how can George Weah solve your problem? How can George Weah be off and how? You can say even in the first 6 years, if they have done something, you say there's some kind of hope. You elect George Weah, you embolden them. They will do worse than what they. You ain't see nothing. That's why you elect them. Me, let me tell you something. Me. That's why people who know me, I can respect people's decision. When you take your decision, I will respect your decision. But I will take my own decision. And you will have to respect it. That foolishness you're passing the wrong way. And I see some of you passing around beyond George Weah and Benin. You're elect George Weah. And you'll see if someone will come on their Facebook to come talk again. I said, waste my time. I said, can't waste my time. George Weah legacy and carry the whole country that between you and him. The thing you're left. So you might enjoy it. That was since 2020, I said to myself, my fasting will not go beyond nothing in that country, such as, the other one happened, let contribute, the other one. I'm not on a fully now with y'all. You think I'm gonna losing life with y'all? I'm not on losing business, I'm on serious business where people can learn. We gotta be passing around, be doing the same thing over and over. Y'all try that nonsense. The simple that you're calling hero there, they don't want to pass around again. They come in make plow with Joe. They're not making plow with Joe. They are collecting money behind closed door. Your Costa and other people, then they are on payroll with Samuel Tuere. Those boys are playing your big time. They're messing with the future of your children, the future of the nation. You think this is joke. You're passing around that foolishness. You're elect. Anyway, I don't even want to say. We in the diaspora swear behind. You think we get life in a player? You think we get our own money? We get something for it too? You think we get nothing to do with our lives? That for us to be enabling you to do wrong. When we tell you say you do the right thing, you say no, you're not doing. You do your own thing. When you backfire, then you come out, you can cry. Oh, help me with tuition, help me with it, help me with that one. I was saying you to job, we had to help your tuition. As stupid as some of you, that means you'll be passing around making stupid decisions for the rest of my life and suffer. No, I'm not stupid. I'm saying it, and we are calling it out. Y'all forgot about it, y'all. We have been another crook and a criminal that go say that somewhere. The country needs to move forward. You're not listening. You're making all the excuses in the world to not do what is right. After October 10, God forbid, you're elect Joria. Even the international community, you're on your own. Let me tell you today, you're on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own. The campaign some of us will be on in the diaspora is to ensure that there will be no fasting going to no. The same way you'll survive. You'll survive like that. Next time when you move from there, you will make this. You will make decision to benefit the next generation. That we don't want to be supporting your fully decision that you're making. Other people making Google decision to benefit and to bring the next generation so that they can suffer the way how we suffer. But you're on the same thing over and over. When we tell you your make excuses for the same politician, we tell you you're threatening or your cost or you do the one, you do that one. You're go vote your way. Please, you're go vote your way. We'll be here. We will be here. I won't put myself on record. If I not canvas in America to show your pepper, you will never try that foolishness in your next lives because we need to get serious. We will not say our money. We will not be part of that your foolishness anymore. Enough is enough. The one who on Facebook who get money through the government, who passing around, and some of them here in this country, they're still on government salary, government paying them, they're still collecting cash here and there. They'll see if they can send money to help you. They'll see. We here. And y'all say, and La Brempo say, you can change. Y'all will change. Y'all will change. Y'all will change. Y'all go be behind Joria business. Joria then are serious people. Joria know that he's serious to you. Joria know that he's ready for anything serious or the future. Joria know that to you. And Joria son just had a contract a few days. Joria a children and a family, they set for life. Joria don't care. They are set for life. Let me tell you today, they are set for life. Pass around, fool around. Fool around, yeah? Fool around. Let's say that to work and talk stupidness to you with confidence, and you're sitting there, you're making that a joke on Facebook. And you say that to say it when you'll be laughing with you. Okay, no problem. You'll be enabling and endorsing your foolishness because what Samuel Tuer said, it should make any sound-minded group of people piss off. It should make you really, really piss off to show them that you're not stupid people. Because what Samuel Tuer was telling you essentially, what Samuel Tuer was telling the world and telling everybody that La Brempo are stupid. That they're dealing with you and they enjoy how they're dealing with you. That's exactly what Samuel Tuer told you when he told you that they are selling current to Aricos. Like it made sense to him. You get stable current in your before Samuel Tuer went there. You get current in your before Samuel Tuer went to sell current to Aricos. And I'm pissing on your head and tell you say winning. That ain't him. But let's move forward. Let's move fast forward to Joseph Boakai. Another crook. Another waste of time and waste of years. Joseph Boakai. I see Joseph Boakai put them passing around. Your thing will move on in the frying pan. From the frying pan and go join the fire. That all crook. That ain't do nothing for himself. And I want people to can't go waste their time behind. You serious? You're serious? I don't understand. I just don't understand what kind of people we are some days. That will check Joseph Boakai record. That will count Joseph Boakai record. That will count. Even John Weah said, let me tell you today. Even John Weah had told you, if you're not wanting Joseph Boakai should not be an option for you. Even John Weah has said it. I see they want to pass in around. The other hustler then who on the touchline waiting to go steal. They not steal before. They're tired of bringing that other one, talking about bringing Joseph Boakai. Let me tell you something. Anything Joseph Boakai, you know what I mean? It equal to Prince Johnson, it equal to Jeremiah Kun. Let me start Let me tie them up to this. I saw a video with Prince Johnson. I saw a video with Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Kuhn, stuck in the mud. Prince Johnson had been senator for how many years? Nima Kante Rose will be like that. If you really care about the poor, Nima Kante. Nima Kante Rose will be like that. Jeremiah Kuhn have been represented for how many years? The role supposed to be like that. The role supposed to be like that. And you want reward them with presidency and vice presidency because Joseph Boakai know there's somebody who ever to lead country. Joseph Boakai know to you in your sound mind, there's somebody who ever to lead country. You got a bunch of crook and pack up behind the people and pushing them and talking about they coming to. Let me read this thing to you quick. It's like, wait, come on. Say, wait, come on. First of all, in Joseph Boakai record, we said it on the station and we say you don't stand by it. Joseph Boakai directly was involved with the Lofa Defense Force. He participated in the rebel war. That cook Joseph Boakai you're seeing over there. He no different from. Let me tell you. Let me say this, and fee how you want fee get verse jump in the sky Cooper you come out. I don't even worry about you because you can't do nothing. You can't do physically. You can't do nothing. Yeah, you just handle the facts and move on. You will get there, or you can get there. You can't do nothing. You see me physically. You can't do nothing. I'm just saying this so we can be clear on the record. But Joseph Boakai, and there is a research we are running on Joseph Boakai, just for the record. We want to document it later on here, and then we'll go more in depth with it. Joseph Boakai been a crook for a long time, and not today. Joseph Boakai has used the country people, especially my people from Lofa County, for a long time, and not today. And that Joseph Boakai who we're finalizing the research here. Maybe when you're asking Joseph Boakai, you're asking about the James International Company. It's located in Sierra Leone. You might go ask Joseph Boakai about it. You'll go ask your Joseph Boakai about it. But we're not getting into that one here because the document will later in our here. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. We'll get into it in depth. We'll get into it. Some you said they provide you with facts like they with documentation to it, you will still be in denial because your whole life you've been in denial. So we're not speaking to some of you who your minds are made up to do what is wrong, regardless. Even the right is there, you would say not do right. We're not talking to you. Some of you who will never repent till you die. That's you were talking to. Some of you who will never do what is right in your life till you die. That's you were talking to. Some of you who settle for mediocrity. Some of you who all your life you've lived as a beggar and as a slave to other people. We're not discussing you. We're discussing people who want betterment. We're discussing people who want the future of the next generation, the way they struggle, so their children can get strong. Like the people that we're speaking to, we're not speaking to some of y'all who been slave from the time you were born to today. They tell you that today you live on slavery. You don't know any better. You know slavery, that's all you're used to. That's all you're used to. So even when they show you the way to real life, to freedom, you will fight the people who trying to fight free you. And now you will discussing here. So you're not important. You are a slave and you will remain slave till you die. And you want to, we are even fighting so that your children can be slaves like you. So now you were talking to, imagine grown men and women calling to lie about things that they know that is true. That me and you so sit down and argue. That me and you supposed, say you say Joseph Boakai benefited the Liberian people or have benefited. I challenge you to show me anything Joseph Boakai has done to benefit you or the Liberian people saying he been in public service. I challenge any one of you who support Joseph Boakai. I challenge you. There is none. Fusa, fine. The only thing you can trace around Joseph Boakai is shady characters The only thing you can trace around Joseph Boakai is all the people then who have done wrong. He has associated with them directly, and he has kept quiet. I want you to show me when Joseph Boakai ever advocated for anything that will benefit Labrador, even Lofa County. And the other time, shamelessly, he's supposed to go to, he was in government. And when he went Lofa and they defeated them, he and Benin and Weah had to take the bypass to Sierra Leone. Why he go back on that road? Why he drive back on the road? Why? The same thing with the Prince Johnson and what the other one, what other indicted criminal Jeremiah Kun passing around what they were in, passing around talking foolishness. Jeremiah Kun look like a serious man to you. He look like somebody who wants change country. Jeremiah Kun look like somebody who wants change country. Jeremiah Kun look like somebody who wants change country to you. But let's get into Joseph Boakai record because it's important to get into these people's record so that you can understand how they have exploited the country, how they have exploited people, and they're not serious. They're not serious. First of all, I saw your way. They think your way. When we get into the thing here, people now start renting and now start sending information. Listen, we discuss some of these things beyond close to. But the one that we want to discuss today, let's bring Joseph Boakai to the limelight. Let's examine Joseph Boakai, how he has benefited Liberia. First of all, let's examine Joseph Boakai, how he has benefited himself. Because first of all, let me tell you something. In as much that Weah is inept, corrupt, because he's enabled corruption in our country, Weah has enabled corruption in the country. And he's inept and incompetent, and he's unserious. One thing Weah didn't do, and I will give Weah credit for that, Weah never exposed his son and his wife to poverty. Yeah, they've been chilling. Yeah, they've been chilling. And they will be chilling till that. Weah's son just like contract with AC. I see some opposition men getting involved with Timothy Weah. Why you gotta get involved with Timothy Weah? Why? Why you gotta get involved with Timothy Weah? Timothy Weah not do nothing. You're leaving alone. Timothy Weah not do nothing. The country that Timothy Weah chose to play for, they created an avenue for Timothy Weah to be where he is today. You're leaving Timothy Weah. Weah was not stupid enough to say he will let his son to come play for Liberia. You think he couldn't convince his son up? Weah's wife, you think she know better? They know. Nobody's stupid yet. So when you see us talking, we are talking for the future of your children. We want a better. The way we suffer in Liberia, we now want other children to suffer. That's what we are discussing. What has Joseph Boakai done to benefit you? In fact, Joseph Boakai, who is a tribalistic man, served 12 years with a Congo woman. Why he never said she was Congo? He couldn't serve with her. Why he said that? And when he served 12 years with a Congo woman, all the BP people that he met, whether it was Barack Obama, whether it was Xi Jinping from China, the other world leader that he met, Joseph Boakai ever established any relationship with them that today benefiting you, Liberians? You think when you leave office, as we speak here, right? No. From the first time I was introduced to the Secretary of State and other major stakeholders in Arizona, I made sure I established contact with them. That's what you do. What has he done to benefit the Liberian people? Tell me. Show me one thing. Tell me one thing Joseph Boakai has done to benefit the Liberian people. Joseph Boakai sat there 12 years. Not only that he collected pay, collected brand as well. Joseph Boakai champion. This is the 6 bogus agreement. You know who? You know what the role of this? What the role of the vice president is? It's to champion the agenda of the president in the Senate. You know that? You think that for him to say that he just sleep? That's why on one recording, Prayer Brambu says something that people never pay attention to. And the Prayer Brambu, then all of them, they're older women, people that you're supposed to expect to say the truth so that even when they die, they leave for they can leave someone in Lagos. All of them keeping the mouth shut, they're keeping it top secret. Because in Liberia, saying the truth that taboo. You got to keep that top secret. And that was suffering us. Joseph Boakai them were the one that were used. Jeremiah Kun them. Thomas Fala them were the one that were used to bribe senators and representative them. That is their job. That's what they've been doing. So the brown envelope business, Joseph Boakai knows about it. Joseph Boakai knows about the brown envelope business. When was the last time Joseph Boakai ever advocated for anything? Anything. Spoke against any evil. A friend of mine wrote and said, yeah, there were mysterious killing in the UP leg government. That's true. I agree with my friend. I agree with you 100%. This is more reason for us to not revert to these two groups of people. These two groups of people mean no. Let me tell you something. Both between Joseph Boakai and John Weah, they have had 18 years of running Liberia. The biggest investment ever in the world came during the time of Ellen. They squandered everything. And you know what? John Weah was in the Senate. He benefited from it. Tell me which bill John Weah refused, which bill John Weah rejected. I want you to tell me today. Then I will support John Weah, I will support Joseph Boakai. Your thing was stupid. We need to tell our people these things. 18 years. If you had a child who is 18 years now, some of you, your children are in school today, they're selling. You know why they're selling? Because the money that was sent to the country to benefit you and your children, guess what happened? John Weah then sat in the Senate that time when Joseph Boakai was vice president. Sat in the Senate and they divided among themselves. That's what it did. So anything that has to do with Joseph Boakai, anything that has to, not only that, Joseph Boakai got a lot of corruption stored on him. But again, I will allow Sekou to speak briefly about the Joseph Boakai issue, and then we'll refer to Cummings, and we'll open the line to get feedback. Mr. Kane, it's up to you. Welcome back. You put a lot together now? Yeah, but you muted. You muted.
Yeah, I put my lap together. I'm just like Melbourne right now.
All right, cool.
So I was watching, listening, and I was reading comments. I heard somebody say, I'm out of here because nothing here. I like that person. Because if you don't like to hear certain, you don't like to hear the truth. The best you can do for yourself, otherwise you will get a heart attack. You get high blood pressure. If you keep watching SKTV and you acting funny, you just waste your time. First of all, I want to establish a few things. This whole tribalism thing we've been talking about. And I've said that people who are tribalists, they are doing so to cover their true identity. They will act like they are more Liberian. They will act like they love Liberia more. They will act like they have a big stake in the Liberian affairs more than other people. Joseph Boakai, I just asked you. Joseph Boakai had his primary school in Sierra Leone. Joseph Boakai started his high school in Sierra Leone, both primary and high school in Sierra Leone. Okay. But they say you were born in somewhere there in Weah. Who was Joseph Boakai's father? Who took you to Sierra Leone to go to primary school there and high school? When did Joseph Boakai come to Liberia? And after acquiring everything he acquired in Liberia, where did Joseph Boakai build his first luxurious home? In Sierra Leone. In that record we're talking. In that record we're talking. Joseph Boakai, the man was in high school. He started doing primary school in Sierra Leone, and he did high school there. And then later on, he came to CWA, where he graduated. And then from there, he went to the University of Liberia. 1972. 1972, that's when Joseph Boakai got a first degree, bachelor degree. 1972. Some all were not born then. Many people here were not born that time. Joseph Boakai started eating money. 1972. Okay? But then, what I'm trying to say here is that Joseph Boakai have served in several capacities. After all of that, if Joseph Boakai cannot run on his record, proudly outline his record, his achievement of every position that he has held, then you must ask yourself, all those years from 1972, they may start working in government. They may graduate and start working in government. As a matter of fact, in 1973, right after his graduation, Joseph Boakai started serving both private sector and in government. They may serve as managing director. In 1980 to 1982, Joseph Boakai was the managing director for LPMC. Can you imagine? From 1983 to 1985, Joseph Boakai served as Minister of Agriculture under Samuel Kenyan Doe. Amen. Did Joseph Boakai get where we are right now? Imagine in the 80s, in the 70s, Joseph Boakai was in government. 1972, he graduated. 73, he started working. 1980, he became managing director for FPMC. 1980, 82 to 85, he became Minister of Agriculture. But nothing to show for it. Imagine. All of those years, Liberia stayed behind when it comes to agriculture. Liberia stayed behind when it comes to agriculture. But beyond that, Joseph Boakai served a lot of managerial position and ministerial position. Whether it's LPMC, whether it's LPRC, in Liberia, when you see somebody working for LPRC, especially managing director, people say, yeah, they don't want to get a country. But this man have lived his entire life working for government, benefiting from government. But yet, his home country, there's no role going there. So the man come and rescue the country, but the man cannot rescue his own country for 47 years. 47 years, he cannot rescue his own country, but now he's saying he can rescue Liberia. Amen. Joseph Boakai served as, the thing about the whole thing, when Joseph Boakai was serving in those positions, Joseph Boakai, he oversaw many areas. As vice president, he was the president of the Liberian Senate, like Steve stated. And doing that, Joseph Boakai used to go to work 2 times a week. Just like all the senators, 2 times a week. And they were making $2 million plus a year. For going to other than in America here and other part of the world, you can work. Joseph Boakai used to go to work 2 times, twice a week. And we're getting $2 million plus. But after all of that, the man say, I can take room from the bank for my upkeeping. Working 2 times a week. 2 days in a week. But then he was taking $2 million plus United States dollar for his office for working 2 days a week.
Mr. Karen, you talk about the Doe stuff, working with Doe. Quickly, this is what was reported from Front Page Africa. Quick.
He got fired.
But yeah, and part of the reason here is that Boakai's Boakai's financial missteps. Vice President Joseph Boakai was embroiled in a $1 million fund scandal with credible accusation that he squandered monies intended for the disabled community. Imagine stealing money from the disabled community. $1 million. Joseph Boakai stole or took money
Yeah,
from the
group.
disabled community.
They call the group of 77.
The group
Yeah.
of 77. But here is it. Here is it. From the disabled community, tarnishing his image and contributing to Unity Party's growing list of financial wrongdoings. This fund came from the Libyan government.
So again, Steve, like I was saying, okay, Boakai has been given a lot of opportunity to serve Liberia. As you were going, like you spending 2 days a week going to work, right, and getting $2 million plus a year. And then he was also, at the same time, as vice president, and the president gave him a lot of, opportunity to oversee most of those, lot of different agencies. For example, a lot of agencies and institutions, they say here. For example, the National Lotteries Program, the Liberian Marketing Association, the Liberian Agency for Community Empowerment, the National Commission on Disarmament and Demobilization and Resettlement. Amen. If Joseph Boakai was the one that oversaw the Marketing Association, and I just Weah now can't start making market for the people there. Weah definitely be in that place there. 12 years, your marketing association, all the marketing were in the month. 12 years, the man was, you the one controlling the marketing, you were the one overseeing the marketing association. The market women, they don't like it no more because the man left there in the mud. All the bonine and fufu used to be.
But Mr. Kane, that one said that, but I don't want to say LeBron can work with him. But to steal money from the blind.
Yeah, but it's one thing. No, LeBron can work with you like that. But you're giving
to steal money from the blind and disabled people.
Yeah,
you put behind your life.
Yeah, that one I swear behind you, behind your family. You can put behind your family.
I swear you put behind your generation.
Yeah.
And in fact, now your first time be in 30 million business. That's not your first time. He not be in 30, that 30 million you went for, he not be in 30 million.
Oh, so 30 million that they see 30 million following you all the way to Ghana.
And I told you, say anything you do before, you can do it again. Let me show you the play what Joseph Boakai in 30 million again. Let me read the part that Joseph Boakai.
See, wait, let me ask you. When you come on the show here, I tell you say before you start the show, somebody just texted me. Because when you come on the show before you start the show, you got to tell people that let them be supporting SKTV. Because when you forget, they both forget. They may all forget. You remind them, they will remind themselves. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Because somebody sent $15 and tell me, say, cool. I tell you, say, you be reminding people. We reminding us. Let me see the person I'm call your name or not. But the person said $15. Yeah, I want to call the name.
So on both.
Okay. Yeah.
On both.
The man, that papi, what they can always be on the show. They don't want to say $15 and say you should be reminding the people. Maybe what you say?
When I move forward, all the comment like accusing you of, I know you are even working on you, I know transport yourself or what. I want to give you to laugh.
What the person say?
Steve, Segu have been having accused the party says Segu kind of corrupt individual for transport union.
Yeah, but at least me, I didn't leave the transport union. Let me tell you something. Okay, you see, that's why it's good to have good record.
Indeed, man.
Me, I work for the Transport Union of the Republic of Liberia. I was very vocal. When I tell you say I know, when I tell you say I knew Yaka Kolba when he used to be Central Street Police Director.
Indeed, you said that.
Oh, you know what? I free lot of transport, lot of driver there in the police hand. I used to clash with police people, the police director, police commanders. And not only that, I used to be very active with civil society.
Wow.
Do you know the name Safele Joe? Someone picking and said, don't even know. Safele Joe was the head of the civil society.
The day you go run for any kind of your record, will bring your story also.
Exactly. So the day I'm running for something, that story will come out. All the things we did for the transport union and the Liberian people.
Nobody.
As a matter of fact, Steve, you know, tell me talk about my record. Me, let me put my record all small.
No, but can I talk about the political
I can't
people?
my record. Let me tell you.
Steve, wait small, please.
Let me tell you something. The
Mm.
reason why
Mm.
my name Sekou Kenneth ring bell in Liberia, I was heavily involved with the transport union.
Indeed.
At the time, the person that used to be the president of transport union used to be called Teresa Veskinda. This Teresa Veskinda used to be one of the key players for Charles Taylor in Banga. When they came, they make her the president of transport union, so she can be the way they were collecting all the money. They get to Weah Flower. I play to go Chancellor Uno play in Congo Town. Me, my own rubber is clear. I can say anywhere. We the one organized and staged a protest in front of the Minister of Labor. That day, we have a lot of radio station there. A lot of people were supposed to talk. But at least I was the one who spoke. I'm talking about just a lot of time.
A lot of time.
I was the one who spoke on behalf of the transport union when we protesting. You know how I got to know that one long? I was arrested with other people for protesting against the bad government. They take me and AB Sano in over there, and one of our guy, they arrested or they take out to TCG office at the justice ministry. That's how I got my name. My own name, and I am from funny thing. What you're doing.
Our SOD guys, right? Our SOD guys.
Yeah, the SOD guys arrested us. They took out to TCG office. TCG was the deputy minister for operation for Ministry of Justice. I'm not just coming on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook person. I've been around.
It's not a long time.
Yeah, I've been advocating.
The
day I'm running for something, my record will come. We clear.
I'll bring other news. I think you know. I will bring other news.
I'm not just anybody, man.
Who buy that thing?
We come here, we talk, but we honor the sick.
Thank you.
And besides that, I do, I pay my due. I work in Liberia. That's why most of your BB people there, your call your security BB people there, they can respect all, they pay hate to all, they give us information, then we're happy because we pay our due. All I can say so far. So my own, you're not worry about it.
Mr. Kane.
Let's go back to Joseph Baga record.
I
just get my small
I
record.
said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Anything you do before, it will follow you. But not Joseph Boakai first time being involved with 30 million loss. And because I told you that it was a 30 million due in Ghana. In fact, what's even concerning, if Joseph Boakai did not know about the 30 million due, why Costa who told you about the money Bene? Why Costa no one met him in Ghana? Why he didn't meet the poor before nothing, but he went there. But you can see another 30 million business again. ADA/ALP agriculture project scandal. Joseph Boakai in another scandal again, in another situation. Just Joe Boakai's involvement in a $30 million agriculture project scandal further exposed the extent of corruption within the UP rank, leaving the nation's agriculture aspiration into jeopardy. Funds earmarked to produce rice. You're listening, yo. They get up money for us to produce rice, 30 million. You're listening, yo. To produce rice. And that the one where y'all see someone all talking, and we take the stand, we take against Joseph Boakai because he has not benefited our people from Lofa County. Joseph Boakai is a common crook and he's not serious. But I read it back. Funds earmarked to produce rice in his whom District Foya, Lofa County, were diverted into pockets of the project officials. And you're yeah. The people that who listening to me for you're yeah. Joseph Boakai take the money that's supposed to produce rice and they share among themselves. They share the money that is supposed to use to produce rice. Look, let me tell you something. You don't forget about our old age, you know, older men, our older men, you know, respect. You can't respect older men somewhere else. My people dying of hunger, I respect again in the Joseph Boakai then sat down over there, told the people money, and while I hear them disgracefully talking John Weah go, that you also tell John Weah to go. You, the John Weah, all of you need to go. Because I just started the criminality for John Weah, they said to learn from you, and today they are acting the way how you're acting. They're doing the same thing you're dead. So we are not doing nothing different. The same, look, Mr. Kane, if you look at the two governments, they are behaving the same way. There's no difference. On the issue of corruption, all the things that John Weah then learning from Joseph Boakai. That's why John Weah said all the time, he got no respect for Joseph Boakai. Because Joseph Boakai not serious. Joseph Boakai no put a lot together, he's not serious. You muted.
You just said something about rice.
Yeah.
So while Joseph Boakai was a minister of agriculture, the man he chaired the 15 nation on West African Rice Development Association.
Yeah.
Now how can he steal the money for the rice?
Because he's a crook, he's not serious.
So imagine this guy serving 15 nations in West Africa for rice development. Up to now, Liberia is behind all those other countries. While he was serving as Minister of Agriculture, they gave him the chairperson on 15 Nation West African Rice Development Association. How many fine? Amen. Then they also gave him the tax to be the one to oversee the LPRC. You know, after that, you know, Joseph Boakai work at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. as a consultant. Do you know that? Joseph Boakai worked in Washington, D.C. as a consultant for the World Bank.
And what did he do there?
He's taking room, he's surviving on room.
Exactly so. And we're supposed to take.
Can you imagine?
How?
Joseph Boakai worked for the World Bank. Let me tell you the year and time. Because we cannot talk. We talk on record. Joseph Boakai worked after serving all those ministerial positions. After he oversaw all those big companies. Man, they may work over there in 19 what? Oh my gosh! Oh, I almost said my own feeling. You know that all the agricultural equipment, you know, Joseph Boakai came here. He got some money from the money for free on behalf of Liberia.
Yeah, but he carried that.
He won it for himself.
Yeah.
On behalf of Liberia, he won it for himself. So if George is the why Samuel told us Joe Weah can do, why who needs that? Mulva Mulisa Joe Weah can do. When you go to the international community, you will ask for money. When you come back in the country, you put it in your pocket for him.
That the same techniques are Joseph using.
Yeah, same things are Joseph doing too.
That the same things are Joseph doing.
Joseph doing it.
And you know what?
There's a company here in Denver, Colorado.
These are Joseph.
In Seattle, Washington, where Sir Joseph can come and take stuff from them on behalf of Liberia. When we get to Liberia, he say for them. Then they call him Sir Joseph the humanitarian. He's the role. Same thing Joseph Boakai used to do.
Yeah.
When they give him managerial position on those things, when he come to America, they method people say he did business administration. So they gave him consultation job at the World Bank in Washington, D.C.
And he last year he graduated from what a university mean? Joseph Boakai never graduated from that university.
For Kansas.
From Kansas University.
Yeah.
I told you Joseph Boakai is a liar.
That one, me, I'm not calling you a liar, but that one.
He's a liar. I can call him liar because you know what happened? When you
I
lie.
was just saying not true.
Okay, me I say he's a liar.
Yeah, that's true.
That's you.
So in short, Steve, we are running out of time. I don't even think we'll talk about Cummings and take calls, so we got to talk about Cummings. Because the other Boakai file is too long. We can't finish it today there. Even we spend a whole day on it. The one I'm looking at said right now.
No, we'll revisit it. You know that we'll touch on Cummings quick and take maybe 5 calls from Liberia because we have to. Mr. Kennedy. So quickly for Cummings, because we got to check on the record there. 2015. That Cummings' most recent job, the Coca-Cola Foundation decided that they will normally Ellen Johnson said he's supposed to put a report up about her vice president, you know, especially the one he was running for the presidency, his services and so forth. But there's what Coca-Cola did for Alexander Cummings. Let me read it quickly. The Coca-Cola Company Chief Administrative Officer, Alexander B. Cummings, to retire. So before he retired, they sent a message. Atlanta, Georgia, December 7, 2015. This is what it states. The Coca-Cola Company today announced that Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer Alexander B. Cummings will retire on March 31st, 2016. After more than 18 years, you're listening, of distinguished service to the company. Now, this is what Alexander Cummings do. This is a record, part of a record while he was working. You're listening. A highly respected leader within the Coca-Cola system. Cummings joined Coca-Cola in July 1997 as Deputy Regional Manager for Nigeria and quickly advanced to become President of Coca-Cola Africa Group in 2001. Listen, y'all who say Cummings the American citizen and you don't want that one, you listen to the one, because they're not already there. That where people say already there. They will tell you which country you're from. A native of Liberia, West Africa. So all of you who've been talking to Cummings and Liberia, shame on you. You are liars, just like the people who you support, they are liars. We need to be saying the truth. A native of Liberia. So that means too, even though Cummings were getting all the BB position, Cummings never wanted to shy away that he was Liberian. Cummings could have said he's Nigerian or he Ghanaian. But he always kept his identity as Liberian. But listen, a native of Liberia, West Africa, Cummings led a period of strong growth. Of strong growth in Coca-Cola's Africa business, overseeing critical investments in marketing and infrastructure across 56 African countries and retired 56 African countries and territories from 2001 to 2008. So 7 years, Cummings were able to run 56 African countries, and these countries include Liberia too. When you pass around, you don't know what you're talking. It's good to do research. Both good. That's why we want to make sure that we get serious people in there so they can educate our people. But in July 2008, Cummings was named to his first current position of Chief Administrative Officer to consolidate, oversight of key global corporate functions, including legal, people, strategy planning, information technology, strategic security, sustainability, and technical. He also played a key role as an executive sponsor. As an executive sponsor of the efforts to embed productivity throughout the company, including the current effort to achieve $3 billion. To achieve $3 billion in annual cost saving by 2019. So in other words, when you hear Cummings talking about he can move the Liberian budget or whatever you want to call it to 1 billion, he's not making mistake. He not do it before. I told you, anything you do before, it will be in your record. So if you been crook before, your record will show that you crook. But let's move fast forward.
So, Steve, by the way, before you, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
we got some information and we decided to ask. We were informed that the Chairman Musa Ability and Charlie Bronskin were attacked yesterday at the funeral of Hen Bashu, the late Hen Bashu of the Liberty Party in Buchanan. And we also, by the time I got information, I tried to call Musa Ability to find out. He was telling me some stuff. I told him, I don't want to be the messenger. I want you to come on. You can't tell the Liberian people as to what happened yesterday and also what happened the day before as far as their campaign, the new campaign team is concerned. So Chairman Musa Ability will be joining us.
Okay, very good.
Briefly to explain to us as to what happened. You know, when I got the information, I tried to call him right away. I want to know exactly what happened there. And I was also informed that the CPP chapter in Australia was launched. There are a lot of information that I heard. So I didn't want to come here and just talk about some of them. I want Musa to be here so I can ask him some of the information I received.
Yes.
So he said he agreed to show up briefly. I think he will be here to tell us what happened. But I asked him the question, is it true that you and Charlie Bronskin were attacked yesterday in Buchanan? He said, that's true. So what? So Musa going to be here in a few minutes.
Okay, sure.
Before we leave the radio, Musa will be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So while we were with the chairman, really quick, let me close this up. What I was reading here, really quick, because it's important. So this is what they wrote to Mr. Cummings when he was leaving. Normally, when you leave your position, especially in an executive, your boss or your immediate boss or the owner of the company should be able to listen to what they wrote to thank Mr. Cummings for his services with them. We thank Alex for his tireless service to growing and advancing our business in key markets around the world, said Motar Kent, chairman and CEO, the Coca-Cola company. Alex, listen, Alex's legacy. You're listening. Alex's legacy will be a leader who focused on growth. Listen, the people who own the company, they see where if Joseph Boakai were going to be in a serious manner vice president, Ellen should have written the same thing about him. But this is what they wrote about Alex Cummings. Alex's legacy will be a leader who focused on growth and made us more efficient and effective. He also has a passion for our people and vision for building sustainable communities as part of our local business. We wish him well on his retirement. And you're listening to this, so during Cummings' time as Coca-Cola Africa president, he oversaw the creation. Listen to what Cummings did when he was Africa president. The creation of the Coca-Cola Africa Foundation in response to growth and impact of HIV/AIDS pandemic. So when AIDS Benin were in Liberia, the person who was in charge to make sure that the white people help the people then who were with AIDS and other things, that Mr. Cummings. The only problem I get with Mr. Cummings, he said, he not let to talk about all the good things what he did. He not let to take credit for it. He not let to. He's supposed to be talking about it. Now not only that, you're lazy. Oh my papa there. In 2000, 2001, the foundation established extensive health care program and awareness throughout local communities. Okay, sorry, I went ahead of myself. In 2001, the foundation established an extensive healthcare program and a wellness program for Coca-Cola workers affected by HIV and AIDS and related conditions across Africa, in addition to support HIV prevention with Coca-Cola Global Network with a focus of clean water. You're listening, Coca-Cola Africa Foundation. When you hear they want to talk about the data, that the problem I get with Mr. Cummings. The thing what you do, you not let them talking. Today, you're listening to today. Coca-Cola Foundation is the largest national foundation with Coca-Cola Global Network focused on clean water, health education, entrepreneurship. Since 2001, it has granted more than 100 million support to sustain communities in Africa. I think the chairman is here. Chairman, welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome this afternoon. Is everything okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. Just today's Sunday, so was went out to see some family members. So but it's okay. They simply insisted I should come for at least 20 minutes, so I can say no. So,
Mr. Chairman, well, thank you so much. I know this was abrupt, and I heard the information and I called you. I wanted to know what's going on, and you said yes. So we have several information we want you to elaborate on, even though this was, impromptu, but hopefully you have some information to share with us. We learned that some good thing and some bad thing. We learned that the CPP Australia was launched, that you and Mr. Cummings were in attendance. We heard that. XKTV, we are on top of our game. We also learned that you and Charlie were attacked yesterday at the funeral of Hen Bashu, the late Hen Bashu, one of the stalwart of the Liberty Party. Can you bring up speech as to what really happened on the good one and on the not so good news?
No, the CPP Australia was launched this morning, and I was privileged to be in attendance, virtual attendance, and then our standard bearer, spoke at length. And I was pleased to introduce him. It was a great occasion. There were some Australian that even attended the occasion. It was quite elaborate. It was good. But the CPP Australia is doing a great job. In fact, they're going to set up a phone bank, so they will be knocking at the doors of Liberians, their family members, their the various stuff that would make all the difference. So we're upbeat about it, and we think that their contribution in the next 52 days we become quite invaluable. So we're quite excited, and we're glad that I was there. The head of our policy team, Mr. Aziba Toba, was there, and the standard bearer was there. So that was good. On the issue of the attack, unfortunately, yes, it did happen. We went to give respect to a fallen compatriot, Unfortunately, there was some incident, and it was not so good. And I think it was orchestrated. What I would do, I am, there is a security attached to the vice standard bearer, so we're waiting for the security to file their report to the Ministry of Justice, and then we will take it from there. we intended, not to politicize it. The only reason why I am even talking about it is because it was unfortunate that after all that, and then people like Dillon were generally concerned that Labour Party was called, and all of us stood up to pay last respect to a fallen compatriot, and it was organized in a way where it's like when you guys go and give tribute, So when we got up, by the time we were there, Nyambli already had a microphone. She spoke. We didn't see the need to speak, and he posted this morning to say that we went to a battle funeral, and the entire Liberty Party stood behind, Nyambli on her authority as hello. It was sickening because I was not expecting that they would try to politicize the event. We never went to politicize. In fact, I was given a chance to
Oh man, I brought internet. Hopefully, the chairman will be okay.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, I was given a chance to speak, and I said I am here, in my capacity, because the good thing is that when the pastor or the MC was speaking, he said this is a non-political event. So when I went there, I spoke as
Hmm. I hope the chairman will come back on. This is not a good news. Um, Attacking Charlie Bronskin at any function that has to do with Liberty Party, that's not welcoming. Attacking Musa ability, any function. Why would people even want to politicize the death of somebody?
yeah. So
Chairman, go ahead.
yeah. So I spoke and I said I will respect the wishes of the church, and therefore I'll be speaking in my capacity as an individual and on behalf of me and my family. There was a rally. I made a contribution to the rally, and I was finished with Charlene. Was supposed to speak for the Bromsky family because I am told that the Bromsky family and the Bashu family had some tie, and later on she was informed that she would not be, allowed to speak. And we attended, and then when we went outside, there were talks also hounding us, in fact, threatening to physically harm us.
What?
And yes, and I deliberately went to that occasion without
Well, that's
any and I have an elaborate security detail, but I deliberately went to that occasion, with little or no security because I did again. It was not about me. It was not about Musa ability. It was not about anything. It was about us showing live respect to a fallen compatriot. So, but they're people that you cannot do anything about them. They're just who they are. So, unfortunately, they continue to show themselves. But I think that, it was unfortunate. We intend to file a report to the Ministry of Justice, and like we promised that we would not, the homegoing of a fellow partisan will not be politicized. It was shameless, and it is shameless on their part. But you know,
so. If I may ask, you guys intend to file charges on that? Yeah, do you guys intend
yes,
to file a
yeah,
lawsuit?
we'll file a report to the Ministry of Justice and National Election Commission
So
because it's
was it
election time.
when you say I'm sorry, when you say that the vice chancellor bureau has security details, are they from the government, from the Ministry of
Yes,
Justice?
the government has given most politicians standard bearers, vice standard bearer security. So she has security.
And then did they have to do like any intervention to stop
Yes,
those talks?
yes. For me, they had to. They did come,
What?
and then they the youth of the community also came in. And these were mostly unity party. Design talks by Dot Delon. Joseph Boga was there. Uh, it was disappointing. I said, well, I was shocked. What made me shocked was I couldn't believe that they would do that kind of thing at the funeral of someone that I believe was so close to them. It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe that they would go to that extent to do that. But these are low life people. They will do anything that they want to do. So, but we'll let this slide. We'll report it and we'll let this slide. We're going to campaign now. We're going to be prepared man for man, to face any threat. But I think that it's not worth anything, especially, you know, the fact that it was for the funeral of someone. So we will report it and then we'll leave it.
So when you say the people, so that means the young people there also intervene on your
Yes, when
behalf
they
and the
when they
behalf
you
of
you know
the
all the civil the Basa is a Liberty Party stronghold, and also the Basa people know that Liberty Party is not with Unity Party. They know that. They also know that Charles Bronski Dollar is the vice standard bearer of the CPP. They know that. So they rally up. They came and it was, taken care of. I didn't even do anything. I
Hmm.
left the church because I think in the church there was some confusion because they also tried to omit the government from the program, and the local government officials were upset. And during there was, a lot of
But this guy was a
agitation.
government official. It was a sitting representative, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The local government officials were, clearly omitted, and they were upset. And so, while that, so I said, well, I've played my part, I need to leave. So I left, and then when I left, they had all these people planted outside to confront us. But there was no bodily harm. There was threat of bodily harm, but some of the people, they are smart. They can harm all you
So
have
anyway,
to.
Mr. Chairman, before I go to Steve, maybe Steve will ask you a few questions on this particular issue. But other than that, you just spoke of campaign starting already. You guys had huge event the other day. People were kind of languishing under the rain. With it was soak. I saw serious rain was coming while people standing out there dancing. That was a hard spirit. But is this a renewed momentum of the CPP, or this going to die down again before the election?
Sebo, I think that all of us, you, myself, Steve, Mabel, all of us, don't take the Liberian people seriously. Honestly, I have to say that. I think
What do you mean by that?
because we think that they are, they are wavering, and that they go with the crowd. No, Sebo, most Liberians have made their decisions, and it has nothing to do with crowd. This election, Sego, let me tell you something. Go to any citizen and ask them if between Alice Comey and George Weah, who is competent to be president. Believe me, they will tell you Alice Comey. But let Alice Comey wait until 2029. Go to any unity partisan and ask them to say, between Boakai and Comey, who is qualified. They will tell you, say, look, that not Boakai, that the old man is popular, there's sympathy on his favor. None of them are campaigning on substance. Alex Cummings has won the opinion, the mind of the Liberian people on the issue of substance. credibility, capacity, and competency. Okay, his opponents are only campaigning on popularity with no justification for anything else. The Liberian people gonna make a decision. This is why when I hear the foolishness of one round, there's 40% of, and there are some recent poll. I'm sure one just dropped on your in your box today. Their polls, I just look at it, and I will send it to you. And this poll was made by credible institution. It shows something very interesting. Boakai, as to who the people will vote for, it shows Weah first, it shows Boakai second, and it shows Cummings in a 2 point margin third. But Sekou, all the other questions, competency, credibility, that would bring relief to Liberian people, 9 other questions down the line, over 50% of Liberian people pick Alice Cummings. Yes. Who you think is more qualified to be president? Cummings. Who you think can change the life of Liberia? Cummings. I will send it to you. So all we're doing this time, we are aware that 40%, because in that pool, there's almost 15% of people who have not decided yet. Segu, anybody who have not decided who to vote for right now will not make a stupid decision. That means that person sound. 80% of those people will go to Alice Cummings. But once you have not decided to vote for Weah, you have not decided to vote for Baga, that means you got sense. And in order to make a good judgment, there's no competition. There's, for the United Party, there's nothing for them to say, here is the legacy of Joseph Boakai. Or for George Weah, they will say, yes, or they say George Weah popular. Have you seen CDC? They are, first of all, do you realize that CDC has not even promoted any plan for the future? Do you realize that they have not said anyone that when George Weah become president, this is what we're going to do? Do you realize that? Do you realize that the United Party has not said anything? Because the makeup of the United Party in itself is a contradiction for everything they stand for. And I told I told Eugene Fagon today, I say, Joseph Boakai is known for making a serious political mistake, but one of his biggest political mistakes is to have Eugene Fagon on his team. The guy insults women. He looks at Benina Jure. Do you know what are the facts about Benina Jure, my brother? Benina Jure literally resurrected Joseph Boakai's political career. I'm aware of it. I know it. I know it. I was part of the CPP, and I know how he fought when Eugene Fagon was insulting Joseph Boakai, degrading him, denigrating him and his family, calling all kinds of things. Benina Jure was up in arms against the rest of all in support of Joseph Boakai. My brother, you can't look at him insulting him, insulting his daughter, and going to the extent of insulting his wife.
Wow.
He got on Facebook yesterday.
I don't know why Joseph Boakai is
insulted Jure's entire family. Even insinuated that the man's daughter was a bastard.
Who said that?
Eugene Fagon.
Wow.
And United Party says nothing about it. You think the very sympathy that you are riding with today, you think that the people stupid, that the people don't know that the post that you're posting, Tilia Ure. You know how much Tilia Ure fought some of us for Boakai business? You know how much Tilia Ure fought everybody? So if you finally part company with that person, you can do it gracefully and respectfully. You got to send your dogs to it to disrespect the man and his family. What Martin Martin Collins, what does he bring to the table? He's from Lofa County. He has no capacity to convince any Lofian. Lofian that will vote for you have already decided to vote for you. He is unreasonable. He's not here. He's not even going to vote for you. He has nothing to give you except to get on Facebook to insult everybody. Some people, hey, this is election, Sekou. It is also very likely that Joseph Boakai will face one of the other candidates in the second round. How do you expect to go to the other people to say, we are in the second round, can't support me, when you denigrate all of them? Are they not thinking about that? Have they even considered how they lost the election in 2017? Do you know how we are? Do you know how petty we are as Liberians? That you insult somebody, you talk to that person. Women see your spokesperson, your surrogate, insulting another woman, denigrating the woman, a very respectful woman, in that manner, and calling the woman daughter a bastard, saying that the woman born that child out of her gas. I mean, are you kidding me?
That's way too much. That's way below the belt.
Hey, that's what he said.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much.
So Sekou, we are in a good position. The CPP is in an excellent position. We have campaigned. All we're doing right now is to speak to the undecided voter. Let them be. First of all, Sekou, we have more visibility than we can compare ourselves to CPP. I mean to CDC, but we have more visibility in the country than any other
I want you to make that clear. You can't compare yourself with CDC because CDC
they have money. They have money. They have the government money.
Yeah, they got the people.
They can just write check. They can do anything they want to.
I'm saying they got the country money, stealing the poor country money.
Yeah, so they're taking the money, whatever they want to do it, they're doing with it. Take for instance, my district. My district has 60. The plan is to have 90 billboard. Billboard. We have 60 billboard in my district alone of Mr. Cummings and Charlene Bromsky and myself. In my district alone. As I speak to you, we have distributed over 25,000 flyers for Mr. Cummings and about maybe 50,000 flyers for Mozambique. So we are campaigning everywhere in this country as I speak to you right now, from the north to the west and to the central point of Liberia. Posters have reached everywhere in Liberia. So we are reaching out to our people. Like the Palestinians here talking about CDC carrying the SIM card, CDC carrying the SIM card. No plan. You go take Darrell Dillon in May, you can be manager in Monterey County. The man who has no capacity to manage anything. No history of managing anything. What was the base? And for me, it's not just the Dillon thing, but then it points to the decision-making processes of the Unity Party. So they are in trouble. We are very, very, very sure that we'll be facing the CDC in the second round of this election. Based on what I know right now, the CPP will face the CDC in the second round of this election. And we will defeat the CDC. Because CDC, remember, CDC number will not grow. Their number is their number.
CDC will always be CDC, but they don't have the capacity to attract other people. But anyway, Steve, you said something that Steve talked about to his credit. During the heat of Joseph Boakai then fighting,
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Joseph Boakai, the Costa. Steve, you said something about Benny Nayure. You say everything you got to say about Benny Nayure, but actually Benny Nayure stood up and sacrificed everything for Joseph Boakai, and he should be treated with some humility and respect. Then the chairman just highlighted what you said, Steve. Do you have any question for the chairman about everything else?
Chairman, yesterday, we saw a picture of Martin, I think yesterday or before yesterday, Martin Jefferson Koji, and also the Secretary General for the Unity Party. Do you have any knowledge of what's going on? Or
I mean, when you say Martin, you got to say Martin Pula. You
Martin
can't
Pula.
say Martin. Yeah. People can be
Well,
thinking,
look,
right?
those are young Liberians, you know, and I don't know the detail of their meeting, but the convener is a patriot. I know Muniru very well, and I know he means well for the country. So I will assume that, their meeting was good. If Liberians meet, Steve, we should encourage it. Whatever they discuss there, I'm sure it will be for the good of the country. What I don't understand is that when people meet, maybe government officials meet with you, you meet with them. My friends from the Unity Party will go after you right away and start attacking you. And I've told them, don't do that. The other day when 2018, when Joseph Boakai got sick, that John Weah lifted him from here and carried him to America. Why they cannot say that he's in Kohu with John Weah? Why they cannot say that? But remember, he's a former vice president. So when he's sick and the president of Liberia comes and say, I'm making personal intervention to help him, how does that make Joseph Boakai now in Kohu with CDC? It's not okay, my brother. We must learn to talk, Steve. We are Liberians. There are people who believe that those that are in government now, that their people, their families, you don't berate them. You are coming there, you are telling people that their policy is not good, you want to change them. Go ahead and do that. But don't denegate other people. So I'm happy that they've done that. I don't know what was the purpose of the meeting, but the Secretary General of the Liberty Party, who is also the Deputy Secretary General of the CPP, he has my full support to engage in any positive interaction that would reduce the tension in our community, in our country. We should go for election. We should together, look at the possible areas where we think that there could be foul play and make sure that it doesn't happen. We do have responsibility to ourselves to ensure that we jealously guard our vote by being present, by participating, by reading about the processes and making sure that we are okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I thought maybe you had an insight so that you could just inform the public.
No, I don't.
It's like you said,
I saw the missed call, from the I spend a lot of time to my family in Canada today. I'm actually currently at the Standard Bearer residence somewhere in one of his apartments. We came for a meeting, so I just came to jump in to have this.
Yeah, Chairman, just before you go, I listened to you, and from my view, I don't know, but I saw it very concerning from my view personally. When you said Delon wrote you to put himself on record that he was behind the resignation of those leaders that reside in Nima County. Chairman, here's my question to you. How far do you think this is going to go, especially with an attack, on you and the Vice Standard Bearer? How far do you think this is going to go, and how long?
Look, I think that the Unity Party knows their weaknesses. They know that they are going to falter, and they know that they're going to fall back. I believe that they are going to foment violence. Based on what I know now, I think that they are going to foment violence. We are very peaceful, but we defy anybody who will try to threaten our security. What happened to us yesterday, we didn't want that particular event to be, overtaken by a sad event. But any attempt to try it, they will see what we will do to them. So we are prepared for them. They're not able. These people, they're just a bunch of losers. They know that they're losers. You take people who have lost the confidence of their people, You take them, you put them on your campaign. A man like Delon coming to me, telling me I'm responsible. If you're responsible for the resignation, but now they should have declared for you. Huh? And so, Steve, if you are the one who made them to resign, but now they should have declared that they are going to join you. You know, but hey, that's a declaration of war. And that will retaliate in kind. We'll go for them. And also a closest door for any future relationship. If your intent is to destroy my organization, what am I talking to you for? What do I have to tell you? What do I have to sit with you?
Have you made any formal as the CPP or the Liberty Party made any formal complaint to the Unity Party as to the whether that direct or indirect enabling of the behavior of whether it's Senator Dillon or Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence for the interference? Have you
We're
made
not one to them. I spoke publicly. They heard it. Dillon has not denied it. In fact, he came back to say, "Oh, I hear say the chairman is warning in my ear. He's crying over my name." That's what he said. Yes, I deny it. I'm not going to give Unity Party any relevance that they have to say that, I should tell them that. No. They put a buffoon to be their campaign here in Monserrado. I'm sure they have a way around him. I know that they are planning their campaign around him because this guy is not even capable of presiding over a meeting. He has no history of even presiding over a meeting. I am telling you. Let him come and show where he has led. And you gave that person to Monserrado. You know what is Monserrado? This man, he was my propagandist when I was Monserrado County chair. He couldn't even perform. He would only come to collect his monthly budgetary allotment and then disappears. He did a sit-in in 2017. He was the spokesperson for the campaign. He disappeared. He went. When he came back, we had removed him and put Claptome there. So he has no capacity. Have you heard him say how he's going to pick Monserrado up? Have you heard him say that he had a meeting with district coordinators or auxiliary groups? Have you heard him say, this is my campaign plan for Monserrado? All they have done, they face Joseph Baga because we know what they're doing. They don't have anything. They don't have anything to campaign with. So Delon is just a charade. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, I know you have a limited time here, and we too, we are over our time on radio because you hear that that's why they stay with us. But so I want you to clarify something because people are led to run away with sandbags. People are led to take excerpt of a conversation and run with it. When you made mention of the pooling, which you say you're going to send to us, back almost 3 or 4 weeks ago, we came on this platform. We said that we have some access to some polling, independent polling, opinion pool. I said that pool. We said the CPP were running third or very close third. That is possible that CPP could overcome, catch up, or even pass within the next 2-3 weeks. But when it's coming from the chairman, somebody will run with it. Oh, Chairman Musa Belete said CPP were running third behind UP and CDC. I want you to clarify the point where you talk about other components of the opinion pool that actually gave Cummings the upper hand in terms of substance, in terms of qualification, competency. I want you to, if you have time, I want you to actually clarify that area so that the naysayer.
Segu, let me read it. I just sent it to you.
Yeah?
Segu, I just sent it to you. Let me
Okay.
repeat. The questions read, and they say preliminary result of a nationwide survey by 3 national and international independent research firms under the banner of Global Research Consultancy, covering 20,000 respondents in 15 counties in Liberia. Margin of error is plus minus 2%. Let me tell you the question I'm talking about. I will give you 3 questions. The first question is, who will you vote for in the 2023 presidential election? Listen to this, Sigu. George Weah, 22%. Joseph Boakai, 20%. Alexander Cummings, 18%. Undecided, 40%.
Yeah, I have it.
Are you seeing it?
Yep.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir.
40% of those who are going to go to vote have not decided yet. They come to another question.
Second question.
Who do you think can better do the job of president of Liberia if elected? George Weah, 15%. Joseph Boakai, 28%. Alexander Cummings, 52%.
Yes. And then
Undecided, I don't know, 5%.
5% say they don't know.
Yes. Another one. I will stop here because I will not waste your time. Who do you think has a better chance of winning this election based on financial resources being spent? George, we have 40%. Joseph Boakai, 15%. Alexander Cummings, 35%. Okay. I send it to you. You have
I got it. I got it, and
So-
we'll expand on it. We'll expand on it tomorrow.
The reason why they all have this thing I've got around. The reason why I'm not talking about it, because the facts are supported. Joseph Boakai said he living on loan. All of us know coming, he retired, he got money, and he's financing his campaign. We all know that John, we are getting the whole country. But besides that, 40% of the voting population, more than the number of people that have decided between Joseph Boakai and Alex Cummings, are saying that they know who to vote for here. Okay, but man, that's a lie. So at the end of the day, when in this election with all these questions answered, so with the same people, when these people are going to make a decision,
You know what is interesting?
no.
The questions that say, who will you vote for if Boakai and Weah go for the second round? And then see question ask, who will you vote for if Weah and Cummings go for the second round?
Oh, where is that?
That's so interesting. Yeah. Let me say, I'll read up. Tomorrow we'll expand on this polling. We had similar polling the last time, but now it has improved again. So when they say, who will you vote for if Weah and Boakai go for the second round? 55% say Weah, 30% say Joseph Boakai. Then the same question they asked them, who will you vote for if Cummings and Weah go for the second round? 57% say Cummings, 40% say Weah.
But that is a fact.
I see why the CP people are so confident they can win this election.
We will win the election.
Yeah.
We'll win the election. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I just laugh.
And then 3% say they don't know.
Yeah, some people say they will not vote. But at the end of the day, Sekou, I send you that document so that you can understand. First is to give our people who have decided to vote for confidence. Second, to know that the remaining 53 days is just about messaging. Ain't no about crowd, ain't no about rally, it's about messaging. We have more power. Look, Alexander Cummings is heard around the country today more than anybody else. We have a network that goes across the country. Okay? We're going and in Grand Bassam County, we're opening up in Grand Bassam. I will be in Grand Bassam next week. When we went there with Charlie and we were discussing on the team, I promised the people of Grand Bassam we'll be giving them some solar lights. We'll start delivering those solar lights this week. Okay, and we promised them that we'll do some roles for them. We will do some of those roles before the election. Okay, so we live into our promises. We will put up camp in Baza, and you will see the difference. You think that the Baza people crazy?
And
They see
the
their
people and the
own
people that
daughter
get
on
the
the
feeling.
they see their own daughter on the ballot. They say they more add them the vote for somebody. You gotta be crazy.
So one thing I want to be clear, I want to clarify before we let you go, Mr. Chairman. This polling is done by Global Research Consultancy. That's not had nothing to do with Liberia. That's nothing to do with CPP or UP
They will
or
let them be sitting down.
or
Let them be
CCP.
putting
These
or
are
color together.
these
Let
are
them be putting color together and be calling OK FM and Truth FM and say they want pool. Let them sit down there. You know.
But Mr. Ghana, I want to say something about the pool before the chairman leaves.
Yes, Steve,
Yeah.
did you listen to the two areas that I just talked about?
Yes, but something that caught my attention.
Yeah.
Those two areas are the backup plan. The initial one that the chairman read, wherein 40% of the people have not made up their mind.
Yeah.
We have always said in Liberia, even during the long time, the silent majority, and some people are afraid to even answer those questions. So that what caught my attention. The silent majority, why are they afraid to not want to talk? Some of them might be working in government. Some of them might be so this is interesting.
Some of them might be living with living on government people that are feeding them.
Exactly.
And then but for the fact that we all agree that nobody can measure arm with the government in terms of spending money. But when they ask the Liberian people who you think will have a chance to win the election based on financial resources being used, so we have 40%, coming 35%.
Yes.
Government.
They're not their money. They're coming on their money. What are you talking?
That's what I'm saying. A government to even be 5% within the 5%, and this is like within the error of margin of error, plus minus.
Well, this poll, I see, like you said earlier, I see why the chairman is. Mr. Khan, please send it to me.
Steve, it's similar to the one we read the last time, but this one is more updated, and this one came from research, a global research consultancy. This is more independent. Let me send it to you. In fact, what we want to show.
And so, Mr. Khan, that means 60% of the people divided. You got 40% out there, which will be the deciding factor to who will be the president.
Mm-hmm.
So no wonder why the chairman and CPP feel the way they feel.
Yeah.
And these are independent researchers without any kind of bias to say, oh, they're CDC president, or these things were not staged.
No. They don't even know anybody anywhere.
So at the end of the day, let the people go. I said some months back that seditions or will always vote for CDC. There's nothing temporary, and that there's a percentage of Liberians that will eventually determine who is the next president. In that percentage, their loyalty vote, their sympathy vote, their relative vote. But you see that number, that 40%, that the person who say, I want think to decide who I should vote for, or my vote that my secret. It is likely that over 80% of those people will make rational decisions. That the point I'm making. They will make rational decisions. We have how many days from today? What the calendar say? Today we have 30 plus 11, that's 41 plus 10. Today we have 51 more days to go. If you remove election day from there, we got only 50 days to go. So we will rumble in the jungle.
So despite all the statement made by everybody for their respective campaign, when they ask, who do you think will do a better job as a president?
No match.
Everybody, 52% said Cummings.
But Segu, go
28%
bring.
said Boakai, 15% said
You know,
Joe.
you know that part that people cannot say that Cummings Boakai is a better manager than Cummings. They will give all the other reasons. For the last 3 years, both CDC and Union Party have never argued on the competency of Cummings. All they are saying, Cummings is not clicking, Cummings is not popular. That the one they like Brompo E.
Mr. Chairman, I also hear something though. Maybe I should, I don't know what you say or I should not
Yeah,
say.
say it. I'm opening anything.
No, maybe I can ask that question behind the scene because I am told that the CPP is working in all 15 counties to have. Anyway, let me leave that question up here. We'll talk
Well,
about
I
that
mean,
because the person that gave me the information, the person very close, to
Segu,
power.
all I can tell you, we are working.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I
look,
think so.
1 week, no CPP billboard, or maybe 1 or 2. Today, we are literally competing with George Weah. The only advantage George Weah got, because the city corporation has seized all the, the small one, the small billboard along the road. That one there, I mean, all of it, all the one that used to have the MTN and the orange channel, that one they got all. It's a size, I mean, I'm not a good geometry student, but it's not very big. It's maybe a 12 or 14 inch, 12 by 12 or 8 by 8, but it's not big, but it's all over. That one, the CBC has, it has more, but we have more billboard now. We have so many billboards in Monrovia. I just told you, in my district, sometimes you can do bad to me. The people say I can't campaign for Cummings. I don't have Cummings billboard. You can send your journalist in my district to go check
I know.
and can
But
yeah,
we
man.
know. But we already know. I think we talk about it here. We didn't
Yeah,
get somebody
you say I can't campaign for Cummings, but go to my district. My district, all the billboard that Musability has in the district.
But somebody said you're not meant to do that. If you do that today, you're they will descend on you. So what happened?
But it's there now. Segu, that's what I want. When I say nobody would, I mean, I'll be defending myself, but it will be okay. Segu, look, I'm going up tomorrow. If you have a journalist, I can carry him with me. Let him go.
Okay, we know got a lot of reporters.
Segu, get one guy embedded with me for 1 week. Let him come by and report our activity. It will help.
Well, something else that people are not paying attention to is this particular survey or this particular report is corroborated by 3 different national and international group of people. So Chairman, let me ask this question.
Steve, that will be the last question because the chairman got to go. Because I forced him to carry. He wouldn't take me 25 minutes. We already went over that.
You know what? I will keep that question on our next encounter because maybe there's something we don't know or the public does not know that it's because let's be honest. If we are considering the projection that UP and other people who support JMB are making, that they are the alternative, this survey disputes that at all levels. That they are not even considered the alternatives.
Steve, let me tell you, like I said, people don't have respect for Liberian people and they will be shocked. We are faced with something. 3rd term of Unity Party, 2nd term of CDC, and a fresh approach to how we govern this country. As I told people, Joseph Boakai and his party would have done well if they owned everything that Ellen Johnson did. You understand? The good ones, the bad ones, and say, these are the good things we did. I, Joseph Boakai, I'm saying now that this bad one, my job is to correct that, to make sure it's corrected, and then add it to what. But they would be way ahead of everybody. There's only one way. I want you to mark my wall. There's only one way Joseph Boakai can be president of Liberia. And that one way is to win on first ballot. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. At least, I'll call you in the middle towards the end of the show when we heard the information. I say, when you call the chairman to get, this fact, and you were available to actually come and talk to us. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We look forward to talking to you about other things. Some questions that I have, I want the people to get some facts. Because like CPP doing a lot of things behind the scene, but when we are informed, we got to come to get to the people. Even though they don't like it.
Hello.
Even though they don't like other people, they're secure the other, but we will always come and talk to them because there are people that are supporting you, people, they are concerned. They really, really want to see CPP win. But they're not even sure. So that's what
tell them that this is not a crowd game. Tell them that George Weah played football in Liberia. He was a superstar. In Maserati, he has 300,000 votes. If he goes anywhere and 5% of those people show up, that would be a good crowd. They will not be carried away by it. Tell them that the same crowd that been behind George Weah 2005, the same crowd that been behind 2011, the same crowd that was behind 2014 and 2017. Nothing has changed. If anything, it has reduced. So tell them not to be carried away by that. Tell them Unity Party has been in power for 12 years. They have a reasonable number, dedicated people. Those people are quite minute. They are in a minority, but if you put them together, it will be a lot. Tell them that we have our numbers and tell them that messaging. If they are in America, let them get on the phone and make the call. It is the people in America and abroad that are running this country. I want them to know you are the engine of the economy of this country. You have a say in it. Even if you can't come to vote, you have a big say. Take the phone. The same person is sending money to every month. Call them and tell them what to do. Encourage them to say, this is how things will change. Don't sit there. Do something.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. We will see you again before the weekend. We'll try to bring you on. If not,
I'm going up tomorrow, so I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chief.
Thank you.
Bebo, man, I can't thank you and the team enough, for staying with us for extra 46 minutes. That was even though we enjoy the privilege because of the chairman. However, we stay appreciated because we at SKTV, we are big, but we are bigger when we are on the radio as well. We got more people listening to us. I believe more people listening to us and follow us on radio than on any other social media platform, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, SKTV Live, or Instagram. So we can't thank you enough. Thank you, to my brother O'Neill, Robert, and the entire team. Tell them I say thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, so kind. So we have to go. I think you.
Maybe where you running again?
Yeah. I'm
here to go after all that thing give you. You want
me? See the man. You see Steve. That's the you. It's just one of the messages I just sent to you, or in fact, I just forward to you. People are now threatening what kind of thing they say. But anyway, we don't mind. We'll not get time for all the kind of things, but I'll be here. Thanks to you guys for the hard work.
The person just somebody will visit us and they will do the one. When the person comes to visit myself, will visit.
So look, there are a lot of messages sometimes I receive on a daily basis. I just laugh. We are all like
I'm not sure to go visit.
So yeah, before we go, I want to say thank you. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure. What my other phone say? I'm just trying to make sure I will not ignore people. So yeah, Steve, now Yes. So to two people, somebody sent $20 and somebody sent $15. And those were the donation for today. We appreciate it. We say thank you. Those of you that did it. And Mabel, once again, we appreciate it. Don't mind Steve. Steve, Steve enjoy it and he appreciates you guys.
Thank you.
You just want to pull your leg.
Hey, man, said the man got married, man. Let me rush on the show.
Steve, man, I'm mad with what I think he's saying. People, look at one of your followers on the Facebook you're talking about. No, sometimes, but we don't get time. So you gotta be careful what we're saying here. We know what we're saying. Nobody is saying anything of maybe that's not true, or maybe we want to exaggerate, or maybe we just want to call any kind of thing. No. But what we are saying is that we all are Liberians and we gotta be careful as to how we go about with all of these things. Please be careful. Control your emotions. Be careful, what you say, because election will come and go. Good night from my end, and thank you to all of you for following us, and thank you so much, Steve and Sekou, for all the time.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
So, Steve,
I think we'll call it a day.
I think we are here now for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yes, I gotta run because we gotta do that report for next week. So I gotta get onto the phone here with some people to complete that report. But I think this particular survey that was sent to us, the result, we need to look into it. It's revealing.
Remember the last time we talked about it? Remember the last time we, Mike about it with all back and forth. You remember he said he was able to travel with those guys. They are non-Liberian, they are non-African, they are international, or they are independent, independent people that are conducting opinion poll in Liberia. They're making research and they are not only talking on one issue. They are asking Liberians across the country on different issues and different demographics, different, in different ages, different gender, and the rest of it. This thing is deep. And believe me, people who know, they will not be surprised. People who don't know will be like, wow. But the fact that, I said this before, the fact that when you ask who you think will be a better president, or who you think can do a good job as president, 52% say Cummings. Only 28% say Boakai. And I
got woman on the phone, because woman.
Okay, let's take a few calls before we go.
Yeah, woman is a normal guy. Let's see what woman. What is your take on this whole?
Man, don't call the man woman, man. Call the man Brazilian monk. People know that the man.
Okay,
we got plenty Star Wars and plenty women here. Before people can say that woman pay. That woman pay.
For that survey. I think those guys should have hired me to be the consultant on that particular survey, because we keep saying it on the show all the time. Our people just don't pay attention. But we keep saying the same thing. Sekou, the reason surveys are not holy, they're not holy Bible, they're not Quran. But it just gives you a snapshot of things to come and how the people are thinking. That's what a survey is. It gives you a perception as to how the people are looking at the election. Sekou, I told you, when the Liberian people speak it, you got to pay keen attention how they speak. When you ask a typical sedition, who do you think is best suited to handle this country? They will pick Cummings over Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask United Party insider, apart from your personal interest,
what happened, Steve?
Nowhere in the world tell people Joseph Boakai will be given preference over Cummings when it comes to handling the country. That's Cummings' advantage. Look, I have never seen any politician that has been given so much political confluence than any other politician I have known in my life. So many things play to common direction. He's competent. He can say he is new, real change. He can make the case that he can tackle the fundamental problem facing the country, which is economic. So you cannot make the case. What the Liberian people, or most of them, will be asking for is time and seniority. When you hear the people say Cummings greedy, what they are telling you in another sense is, we know this guy is good for the job. He's better, but he just need to wait. And that's Cummings' argument. We don't have the luxury of time to wait. We have given two parties 18 years of your life. 12 years to Unity Party, 6 years to CDP, and they have proven to not be up to the task. So Mr. Cummings' argument is about closing. It's his election to lose. I keep telling anybody, because the advantages are in his favor. Everything goes to Mr. Cummings. You can make the argument all you want. If you look at it from a bigger standpoint, look at what the chairman just told you concerning the competence level and who is best to feed the country. What I told you in 2017, I said 4 out of every 10 voters decided to stay home. If any candidate can give 20% of those voters a reason to come out to vote, they will be the one to win the election.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that data say concerning that survey about undecided voter. For me, I don't call it undecided voter. I just call it disenchanted voter that is waiting for someone to give them a reason as to why to come out to vote. And I told you, Sekou, if the election goes down to Weah and Boakai, Weah will win. That's why you see they always making it.
And the survey clearly stated that.
The government will say that because it's psychological and it's a moral thing. Weah is not making an argument based on competence. Weah's argument is it was because Unity Party that you got me. So you cannot get Unity Party 12 years and give me 6 years. If anybody going to replace me for competence, I cannot make the argument, but it cannot be Unity Party. Unity Party cannot be the one to replace her. That's Weah's argument. And that's exactly what this survey is insinuating. Look, if people pay attention to the issues, look, the election will be over before it even gets on the way. And I know there will be a shock on this election. Like I said, a survey is not law and gospel, but if Mr. Cummings can handle this number and make a closing argument, I tell people elections that decided in the last 2 to 3 weeks, if Mr. Cummings can make a logical closing argument, he will shock the whole country. That's what I think going to happen. There's a probability for that. Big time.
All right.
No, thank you so much. I think the survey is very clear. Very, very, very clear, especially when it comes to making comparison as to anyway, let me take a few calls here because we got to go now. Already. Yes, caller, what is your name and where you calling from? 401 number, last 4 DJ 8962. From Rhode Island, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great.
Sekou, just from listening to the survey, I want to tell Liberian people that's how we vote in America. We vote for issues. Not we don't vote for individual because we love you. We vote for the issue that on the ballot that will benefit us. That's what we vote for. And that was a very good survey and the people did for Liberia so they can know. Those who have not decided and those who just go for it because somebody plays soccer and they love it, or somebody giving them respect. The respect that will benefit you. When you have to be skillful, now when you're supposed to look in and see where you benefit you, then you can give your vote for that person. We are supporting Mr. Cummings because he put his platform and he's ready to always solve what we want inside someone. I say, yes, I will go for this. And another thing I was thinking about, everybody got that era.
Now, I want you to make it brief because we don't have enough time anymore. A few people.
Yeah, there's a Cummings era that business. We put the era that football. So you couldn't even develop the football era and even build one more discipline for Liberia. That's okay to give to the
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you so much. Mr. Maulo, are you there? Mr. Maulo, John Maulo.
Yeah, how you doing, Sekou?
I'm doing all right. 30 seconds, sir. We are running out.
Yeah. Thank you for the time. There's 2 things, all right? Sekou, according to that poll or those polls, they were carried out with 20,000 people in Liberia. 20,000. So it was no joke. Right?
No, that's a lot.
It took a while. 20,000 people did that polling. You know who were interviewed for that polling, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's another question in that polling that even worse than the 52%. When they ask who do you think is best to secure the resources and the economic future of Liberia, 70% say Cummings. 70%. Now, for all those who call in with these small stupid poll, who you like, who you don't like, the real substance is in the pudding. Because if Liberian people want to move forward, they already know who. So it will be dependent on them now to decide they want to play with their lives or they want to move forward.
You know, when they say who you think, Mr. Mauro, when they say who you think can provide job, if elected will provide more job and employment for the Liberian people, you know that 60% of the people say Cummings, 25% of the people say Boakai, only 10% say Weah.
That's all the percentage together. Let's see who is the most probable to win first round. They're all the people who talking about first round.
Yeah, but Mr. Mauro, thank you so much.
This election will shock people, and we'll continue to do the work, and by God's help, we'll see the result that we want for our better country.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I think we're going to take just a few more calls because, Lova, you are calling me. Please, if you can call Steve, I got all lines occupied here. Or maybe you can just wait. Let me take these 2 calls and then take your call. Caller on the other line, 361 number, 3631 actually. I think they look like a Priest Massacre. Priest Massacre, how are you?
Thanks for the show.
We don't got 30 seconds, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I mean, I would like the way people give themselves this kind of courage. I will pose to say international and global. International and global, that's not a name. You got to tell all the institution where the global guys and the local people came from, but that's not the point. You can give yourself 40%, 50%, whatever percentage you can give the Cummings. I mean, we don't really care. We know Cummings not going anywhere. But let me just say this to you real quick. If you have any polls, right, says that Georgia is leading CMB 2%. And CMB is leading Cummings 2%. Look at the numbers in that poll, right? You see the kind of way they're trying to make it like Cummings is choosing CMB and JP choosing Georgia. And we are not ready to get the other Cummings because Cummings is not going nowhere.
All right.
On the live feed, if Cummings comes to I would send you $1,000.
My man, don't wait for that to happen. Send some of that money right now. Don't send some of that money right now because you're not gonna have because it's not gonna happen. Because Cummings gonna win. Every massacre got a problem. And from Prince Massacre to the other priest to real priest. Priest. The other Prince Massacre guy, they're not the real prince, man. They're the prince there from.
Prince Massacre are the people who just talk and empty talk.
Yeah.
On this public forum, I challenge Prince Massacre. Let him put into escrow. Let him call somebody. What escrow mean? Put money somewhere.
Yeah.
And I will match it. When you say $1,000, I will match it with $2,000. We'll put that money. We'll look on an account, a neutral person. We'll put that money in the account. Let it sit there until after election. And
me, I know somebody where you can send the money. Where you can send the money to.
Okay, I challenge him now. If he wants to do that, I challenge him right now. Find that person. I will transfer. I will send the money to Sekou Kone. He say he want 1,000. I will make it 2,000, and we'll put it in our account. And I will take it at his bet. And when he say a Cummings can what? Yeah. I don't know what he said.
No. He said if Cummings go to the second round, he will pay me. He will pay me $1,000.
Yes, I will take it at his bet. Let him do that. Having said that, let me get to serious business now.
Yeah, because I wouldn't get 1 minute to leave now. I'm tired.
Let me say this, Sekou. I know Chairman Benete is such a leader, such a dynamic leader that even under danger, looming danger, he still remains poised and he doesn't blow. He's not an alarmist. But what happened in Grand Battle, it is very, very, very alarming. It is very alarming for the Unity Party to go and attack Charlene Bronsky, the daughter of the father of the modern Brazilian politics. It is very alarming. And because of that, we will take it very seriously. And we'll urge that everything be done to protect her, to give her the maximum protection. And I will talk to my Basa people. I will tell you people, I say, look, If you will sit over there, you're a lot Dillon and Yomli Kanga. For the sake of Jeremiah Kuhn or new criminal, even I said quoting his own master, Prince Johnson, that called him greedy and a criminal. For Joseph Boakai, that neglected the Bassa people and chose a criminal. If you will sit over there, and the party will carry people who are full of violence to kill over there and try to impose violence on the daughter of Mr. Brunsky, it will be a very sad thing. And I urge you people to stand and give her the protection. Her father had done a lot for that country. Her father made all the sacrifices for that country. He loved that country, and it is his right. It is right to be represented in his daughter. So I call upon you people to protect her. And those young people who are there to protect her, I want to commend you people. If you are there that day, try and put me in. Let's get in contact with some of the leadership there. I want to get in contact with you people to empower you people to be able to stand for what is right and make sure you can deter what is happening. Because the party and CDC, they are no different. They are desperate and they will resort into violence to cause chaos and confusion in the election.
So, speaking of violence, they sent me a video that there's a fight that erupted between Joseph Boakai supporters and that of Jeremiah Kuhn supporter at Unity Party headquarters. I have the video right now. I'm about to play it and we'll close.
It is not a surprise. Yeah. And the very fact that Joseph Boakai was there that
listen to it. Wow. Wow. So the police are there with 2 weeks in the gun.
I want evidence. I want. I want evidence. I want process. I want process.
Wow. Well, Prince, I want you to take a.
Let me tell you who are behind those things. The Unity Party is on a siege and on a hostage right now by loyalists of Joseph Boakai and disgruntled CDCN who are crossed over to him. One of the persons that are behind this is OBOB and Eugene Fangon. These are the strategists that are creating the confusion and the commotion and sending money to facilitate these other things that is happening on the ground. Thank you very much, Sekou.
Thank you. Well, first, we'll leave it there for today. But before we go, somebody just said Sekou is the big liar. I'm not the one pointing there at the Unity Party headquarters. Are you not seeing Unity Party headquarters? Are you not seeing Joseph Boakai, the banner there? You're not seeing people in the Unity Party shirt? Are you not seeing them fighting among themselves, restraining? I mean, they've been restrained by the police. Didn't you hear the other lady talking about she wants evidence? The reason why she's taking that video, because she wants to show that what's happening. So somebody say Sekou is lying. I was here, 3 people sent me the video. So I even thought it was the video from Monrovia. I mean, from Basso. They said no, it was a fighting that happened between Boakai supporters and some people believed to be Jeremiah Kuhn supporters. 2% sent it to me, but when Lofa Julius sent it to me and told me, Sekou, play that video before you leave. And then I texted the other person where this video came from. The person said from Morovia. That's how I play it. And before I play on my own from my phone. I was looking at it to make sure it's authentic, but it's true. It's bad. It's very embarrassing. I'll play one more time before we go. Did you can see the banner behind Boakai? I mean, behind the people that are fighting. Just watch. You see the banner over there? The banner is there. And let me see. Let me play again.
You can make it bigger than that. Now they do it bigger. Yeah, it's even bigger than that.
I want evidence. I want process. I want process.
So this, in fact, the optics alone is bad. The fact that you're having these kinds of problem in the middle of a campaign, you fighting among yourself. Other people are even worried. The other day was saying our bosses, our body afraid. Maybe somebody going to go and start, breaking down some stuff, even burning, whatever. But the fact that there is a noise, there is a fighting between the people from the same party, believed to be from the supporter of the VP candidate and the presidential candidate. That's a big deal. And the big fighting will come from the running in the county, Nimba, wherein people from Jeremiah Kum party believe this will be the one running in some part of the country, while Joseph Boakai people then refuse to give them chance. It's going to be serious. It's going to be a serious problem. I learned that some of them are running independent just to revolt against the Unity Party people. But the real fight will start. Folks, we'll leave it there for today. We appreciate you guys. The two people that contributed, we say thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll expand on this opinion poll tomorrow. The survey is very, very revealing. It's revealing. Like one other thing that I said, I heard, I didn't want to really, some of their internal information that are very critical. When I hear it, sometimes I'll do it, every other institution, I like to talk to them behind the scene first. If they want to deny, if they want to collaborate, before I can come publicly to talk about it. I do that with CDC, I do that with Unity Party, but sometimes they can even refuse to take my call with the collaboration information with them. But I think CPP is doing great. I think so. And the information that I say I have, I will share with you maybe tomorrow. But we'll have to actually collaborate with the people and discuss among ourselves before I can talk about it on the show. But it's a big deal. If it's what it is, then CPP is doing great. Steve, I was about to call that day.
Yeah,
I know you're putting your life together. I can see you the way you just chew your mind and stuff like that.
I saw the video.
You're putting your life together.
Don't bring me in the time.
The people are fighting in the.
Yeah, I saw the video
at the Unity Party headquarters.
I saw the video of the people fighting. Mr. Kane, I've seen a couple of videos.
If Franklin Wisse is available tomorrow, I can bring him on. the DC just now. I don't know. We finish. For 3 hours now. We can't stay here more than that. If Franklin Wizard is available, I can bring him on tomorrow.
But Mr. Kane,
he's my boy. Where is he, sir? Did he say bring him on? Bring me on? I don't see that.
Mr. Kane,
Please tell me to bring Franklin Wizard on, but I've not even seen Franklin here requesting from coming on. But I think we finished. We have done today.
Yeah, we're done for the day.
Edwin Crosshair, she's sending the video. Send me a message from Messenger. I will forward it to you. James Colley, I don't know, but the people know. They will deny everything. Steve?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, they can deny everything they want to deny. The facts
you get it, or you want to take it down?
No, you can go ahead. Folks, thank you.
Close now.
See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.
All right. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. It was gonna be. Oh.
D12 on the